What's poppin', people? I know I said it had been a while. This music a little loud to you, possibly, and hopefully it's not a copyright song, to where it's an issue. But yeah, man, I'm live now. Uh, Dang, I didn't mean to do that. Maybe it happened for a reason, since everything does. But yeah, man, I'm live, and today what I'll be reacting to, not just reacting, but I'll be disclosing information in regards to Santos Benacci's video, which somebody else recommended. I just don't. I'm the only reason that I'm doing this because I don't want people to start recommending videos like this brother did. The only reason that I am doing this is to solemnly prove, that at the end of the show, I'm not just stuck on one path, one thought path, a thought wave. When it comes to 0 through 9, 45 degrees, and everything I've been disclosing with the number 45, 4.5, and all of this. It's not just because I love that number. When you really discover something that means something, you are going to press it. That's just a fact. And you're going to ring it like I use the analogy of wringing out a towel, which is all I've been doing. So at the end of the day, I'm a, listen and show points, just to, and then also to support this because I'm not just, stuck on one thought wave. I comprehend other things. Anybody who's really listened to my stuff in depth, they would, get that I've disclosed information on other numbers. I've actually mentioned part of what this man mentioned in this video, but I got my grid paper over there. What I also be doing is drawing on camera. Uh, so yeah, God dang it. Let me let me switch it around. See how wise it is? Y'all got to do the same thing. Make for sure that you have something on your camera because people can look through your camera. If you ain't, VPN, all of that, regardless, at the end of the day, you got to make sure that you secure yourself, man, your imagery. So this will we'll be drawing today. If you wonder what this is the front of the Masonic Lodge from my state. We got the best Masonic architecture. And I'm not just saying that. Like I literally took some time and went through and looked at all of the different Masonic lodges as far as their architecture. And it just so happened the one from my home state has the greatest architecture that I've seen. Uh, and when y'all talk about the pillars and free energy and stuff like that, metal being the center core of the, certain metal that produces free energy of them pillars is a bunch of them in front of my lodge up there. Not my lodge, but I'm just saying my lodge in regards to my state. This right here, what we'll be needing as well. And you see this back here as a cover sheet because if I remove this light glare over here is going to screw everything up. But this right here is what I'll also be using. This is kind of like a 3D representation of what you see back here in the background right here. See? So this right here basically is like a 3D, me doing a little 3D outlet of that. Red would be coming down the center. You see that going on. But anyway, man, as far as anything else that's in here, nothing. This is my clean sketchbook. That's a brother that I'm working with right about now. I ain't gonna disclose any names and anything because it's a lot of non-support around here. All I need to focus on is who is supporting me fully, and this is one of them, straight up. So now we'll get into it, and I'll cut that video on. Now, like I say, when it comes to 0 through 9, there's a reason why I have been so tedious and uh, very redundant with it because it's a code. It's the base of all reality. There's a reason why those numbers are prevalent. Of course, there are other number systems. I've mentioned the base 60 and everything, but part of what I've been showing people, and the reason why I have this booklet is because I got so much information in this booklet. I literally went through. See what you see right here It's not just you know, this is my own way of doing math that I invented. That's what people are sleeping on. This isn't just something that's just pulled out of someone's ass. You see, this is something that's literally individual. Nobody else has broken down maths, but that's why you've never seen this pyramid and you can't find it on the internet anywhere, that I've specifically created with the simple numbers 0 through 9. Now, if you continue this process, you know what? With the 0 through 12 process, you guess what you get, which I mentioned in the past in my earliest videos, actually one of my first ones when I started broadcasting my discovery. That's the clock. I mentioned as well that the clock, which y'all look at as 1 through 12, is actually 0 through 13. That's the reason why you see 13 prevalent throughout a lot of symbolism. It's actually 0 through 13. If this is a zero right here, this is the same thing as a clock, which is vortex based mathematics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, the Masonic encampment, however, whichever way you want to look at it. 1 through 9. Okay, 360 degrees in the circle. 3 plus 6 equals 9. It doesn't add up to be 12. Okay, well, I'm just disclosing that right now, because 12 is what's broadcasted in this video. That's really why the brother sent me, whether he says it or not. He says it'll open my eyes to certain things, but it's really just me repeating stuff that I've already, disclosed in the past as far as other number systems. Okay, so with this right here, is there a zero anywhere right here? Some smart aleck is going to say the circle is the zero. Okay, it basically is. Okay, so zero, the circle, which is literally what a zero is, it's a circle. Okay, that's why I just told you. So how many would you have if you count that as zero? Okay, the only thing is they don't show zero as an actual number. Okay, it's the whole aspect of all numbers 1 through 9 coming together. Okay, they don't count zero as a number in vortex-based mathematics. My work proves that zero is a number. It's the polar opposite of 9. How would 360 degrees be 360 degrees in a circle if you did not have the aspect of zero? It'd be 36 degrees. Therefore, if you didn't have a zero, it'd change everything. Therefore, zero is a number. If it changes something, it's showing that its presence changes something. Okay, so zero is a number. You have zero, and we're gonna count them for zero is a number. Okay, that's why I just said that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 10 characters. Okay, okay. You have now. What do they call these number systems? They call them bases. Okay, any number system you use, they call it for any one. Okay, since y'all want to bring up other number systems in your subconscious, the other number systems go by the names of bases. Okay, base 60, base 12, or hexadecimal. Base 10 is what we call this. So many of y'all are so stuck on one mind frame, you'll say 10 has to do with Satan and all of that, saying 10 and all type of stuff. Okay, but it's an aspect of reality that you cannot, and I apologize for background noise. It's an aspect of reality that you just cannot combat and get around. Okay, it goes into gematria, which is decimal system based, which I brought up in the past, but we call it base 10. You have 10 characters. If we don't count these up here, the arc or the angle that's made, 45-degree angle specifically, which you cannot, that's the key to it. This is 45 degrees, okay? That's why I told this, it goes into discovering how the circle was even made. That's why the Nazca lines, you see the circles that are there, and they go through 360, okay? Specifically, what am I talking about? When it comes to the Nazca lines, the center that is right here, which that's why I love my new art now, because it's way easier to see with great detail. The center you have circles that go through each set of these numbers. The last circle goes through 7 and 2. All of these numbers are the prevalent numbers that I have been disclosing information on. They go through 4 and 5 right here, 360, which is 3 and 6. okay, creating the center circle. And then you have 7 and 2, which the last circle, outer circle goes through those two. Okay. When you add the numbers 2, 3, 4, you get 10. You add these over here, you get 17. 7, um, 5 and 6 equals 11. 11 plus 8. 11 plus 7, I mean, equals, hold on, 10. 11 plus 7, 18. Hold on. Am I tripping? That's 9. I'm tripping. I'm so used to adding that 1. Dang. 432 equals 9. Okay, and this over here, 18. 9 and 18, of course, you're going to get 27. So pay attention to that. That's 2 through 7, which is the outer circle, I'm saying. It just so happens 2 and 7, when you add the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you get 27. Okay. So that's right there on the Nazca lines. A lot of people confuse the Nazca lines as far as what culture they feel like created them. They like to link it back with the Indian mandala. Okay. Indian mandala. Well, if any of you research and check up on and see who supposedly discovered the 360 degrees in the circle, who do they say did it? They say between the Mayans and the Indians. And firstly, they say the Indians. Okay. You can look into Borobudur, the temple, which I've also disclosed is based on these same exact number sets. 540 statues at the top of Borobudur, however you pronounce it, temple. You know, you have all of these prevalent number sets that are there. This is not, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's you don't see 12 being brought up right there. You don't see, you see the exact numbers that I am showing you that are pairs. Okay. You don't see any other numbers brought up, and that's highly important. Now, when you zoom into the center, which is the eye, the center, the core eye, right here, the core or the eye, right here, 9, I is the 9th letter. Okay. You zoom in, it could, on my work, it continues to go in through via the reflection that's in my eye. These corners that, as far as 0 through 9, because see, we just went through these sets 4 and 5, 6 and 3, 7 and 2. What we left out is 1 and 8. Okay. Well, what happens with 1 and 8 in their work? Well, if you pay attention, yes, the last circle stops right here at the 7 and 2. But if you look at the center of the Nazca lines, what I had disclosed to people is that the lines that go from in the center, you have some, which looks like a Knights Templar sign. The lines that go from right here to right here and right here to right here, approximately in this area, they point directly to where 1 and 8 would be at on my work. Okay. There's other people who have actually went to the Nazca lines and have measured the Nazca lines, literally measured the Nazca lines, and they come back to the same exact number sets that they were talking about. They mentioned 12, of course, but the predominant number sets are 0, 9, 1, 8, 2 and 7, 3 and 6, 4 and 5. This is the code of reality. You can't get around this. You can make up and of course, you know, add on other number sets as far as base 60. But that's why I told y'all, what I've discovered is the ultimate microcosm. Okay. All right. A lot of y'all don't get that. When you look up into the sky, what do you see up there? Water, watts, which a lot of people have been talking about here recently. 3 and 6 is the water. That's why it's blue. Everything that I have here is for it, like it is, for a reason. Brother Sanchez, and I'm just mentioning him because his work has been awesome. Love what he just did as far, and I obviously see exactly what the man is saying on a lot of stuff. He just recently talked about some the flight and everything, which I mentioned. A lot of stuff he mentioned, I have already mentioned. I'm not doing the whole who said what first thing. I'm just saying that we right on the same track, and it just proves that if you can comprehend what he's saying, there's no way that you should not comprehend what I'm saying. Okay. At the end of the day, we lived, I have said, on my mother herb, because that's what this all is a replication. Everything is what y'all say. So therefore, you find within my stuff the fractalization of the whole cosmos. What you're living in, you're literally looking at everything that we're living in. So we would be right here on this ground line. The center point would be the North Pole. It just so happens that this says what? This is a big 0. This is a 9. This is a 0. and this is a 9. Well, what are these four corners? What do y'all hear about the four corners of the earth, right? Well, a lot of us question, what are the four corners? What are they talking about? Okay. Who do we say wrote the Bible? Masons wrote the Bible, right? Is what a lot of y'all like to say. Okay. We got the four corners right here. 0 and 9 is right there. It's the same thing again. If you zoom into that, it will always continue to be the same exact thing. 0 and 9, 0 and 9, 0 and 9, a quadruple, right there. All right. So at the end of the day, uh, that right there is extremely important, because you cannot, and I have to disclose this before I get into the science that he was talking about, because I don't want to interrupt and have to keep on going back over and over again. I want to just listen and let that be, of course. uh Everything is there with my work, as far as it's explicable, explainable with my work, as far as the Nazca lines, that star. Okay. The same brother who sent me the intro to this, who referred me to this video, is the same exact person who's going to try to tell me that nobody knows what the Nazca lines are. Nobody knows what they mean. Okay. Mm. That's the same individual that'll tell me that nobody knows what they mean. But I'm sitting up here showing, and I've been talking about the ley lines, which we do not have the real ones. If y'all say that the earth is a globe, which I've always told y'all I'm in the center, I'm doing the work to prove what it is through math, because anything as far as measurements, because that's what y'all talking about, the measuring of the earth. Shape is geometry, literally. What does geometry break down to? Y'all teach it and I've been saying that. Anybody with common sense knows that it breaks down to earth measurements. Geo means earth, metry means measurements. It's that simple. No way around it. It's it's really crazy how much all of my work is just so on point with everything that I've been showing. And I'm just saying this right now because you cannot do this with the number 12 and the Nazca lines, okay? I'm not saying that the Nazca lines is the end all be all to anything, okay? But what I am showing you is the prevalence with them. I am showing you stuff that you just, I mean, how can you debate it? If you can, prove me, show me where you can do 0 through 12 and do the same exact science and get those center points, everything to line up perfectly like I have, because it's all based on the grid. And you can see that grid in the Nazca lines. Those are star maps, and every last one of those stars, like I said, is at 45 degrees. It's not you got hexagons, okay? Which I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to show and prove as well, once again, that you can only do what I'm showing with the square. If you look back at other cosmologies, which y'all talking about, the same brother was sending me stuff about the what do you call it? He just really going in, trying to support the whole flat earth thing when I was questioning it. Through what I got the right to question it, man. At least I'm real about it. And that shows that I'm not gonna just go, right. I've questioned my own work, bruh. And that's just a fact. And that's the only way that I realize, and I know I have the gnosis that I do. Maybe I know something that you don't. It's all that I can say. Well, not all that I can say, but that's the main thing. That I'm just at a state of realization that other people is not. And even Nikola Tesla, a lot of y'all ain't really studious. Y'all always bring up Nikola Tesla, but y'all never bring up Walter Russell. Walter Russell had cosmology that apparently Nikola Tesla told him he should lock up for 1,000 years because people just they wouldn't be ready for it. Okay. And it just so happens that his cosmology lines up perfectly with what I got. He had 0 through 4. On one of his diagrams, the same exact type of geometry. And he also has the cosmology with the cube in a 45-degree invert, like a tetrahedron in the center. Okay. Extremely important because all of your top is not, when you look back at any ancient cosmology, it's going to line up with exactly what I have here. It doesn't matter what culture you go to. If you go to the Mayans, you're going to see something that looks exactly like what I have here. If you go to Egypt, you're going to find the exact type that I have here. Nut and Geb. Nut and Geb is right there. Okay. So at the end of the day, you are going to have you go to India, you're gonna have the same as Indian mandalas, okay? Maps of the universe is going to be the same exact layout, and it's based on a square, 45 degrees. Is that's something that nobody else has just realized, and it's just a fact. Nobody else has realized that, man. Nobody has pointed it out, and you're just not gonna get the same type of math going on with anything like with the number 12. It just wouldn't be operable. You wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and let this be seen and heard as far as what the man was saying. And I'm gonna try not to cut off too many times, interrupt and give any too many points too many times. But I just had to really disclose this because the main thing that this man was doing, because I could tell based on what Trues had said, the guy who referred this video, he really feel like I'm just in the box, but I'm showing we living in a box. We can't get out of this box. 4.5 is right here all around you, bro. How many limbs you got? 4 limbs and one head. This is the controller, right? If you cut this off, can your hand work? No, it can't. But if you cut this off and you still got these, if you ain't got your pinky, your hand can just about work the same. You just ain't got your pinky. You're losing a little bit of grip. But if you lose this mug right here, it's a wrap, buddy. Just like if you lose your head. Okay. It's the 4 and 1. 4 plus 1 equals 5. It's simple. It's really simple, but people making it hard and want to try to jump around what's right in front of their face. Okay. But if you go to any ancient cosmology, you're gonna see exactly the same similar layout. 45. I don't have to just say that. I can go through it do a little quick skim and go through it at the end of the video after his plays. But that ain't really an introduction, but that's just what I'm gonna say as far as the beginning of this video. So let me go ahead and play this real quick. All right. That's crazy. It started at 202. That's where I left off. That's some numerology right there. 20202. That's communicated something. I just glad this is something without ads too.
Technological stuff that does everything. It's like appreciate the value and the content, but there's nothing like being a teacher. So in the days that we're living in now, you can set up with a whiteboard. You just grab yourself a whiteboard, put it in your car, put some posters around town that you're going to be doing a syncretism class, and people can donate if they wish to for you hiring the hall and putting all your time into it, and you're going to be teaching syncretism or the Sam Best method. So we're going to start by tackling what the Sam Best method means, this acronym that I have invented. And this is the method that will be taught. And this is, you'll be a teacher of the Sam Best method, just as someone who goes to Steiner School is a what? A Waldorf dude? What do you call them? A Waldorf salad? I don't know. I watched too much Monty Python. Yeah, the Waldorf schools. Rudolf Steiner, right? Okay, so all right. In this academy, we're going to be Sam Best method teachers. And in that, of course, is the science of alchemy, the science of astrology, the science of theology, the three main pillars. So you're going to be a theologian. So we're going to cross disciplines here. You will not be confused. You know, it's like I'm a guitarist and I'm entertaining you, right? And one song is jazz, and the next one's Mississippi Delta Blues, my favorite. You're not going to say, "Hey, dude, whoa, you've just spoiled my night, man. I was digging the jazz." And you're not going to have any prejudices. You're just going to enjoy all the different flavors. That's what syncretism means. Syncretism simply means that you know how to cross disciplines, and you're not just a master at one thing, which is how schools work. All right, folks, and as well, I really, before we begin, I want to thank everybody for supporting the GoFundMe. Please, if you can help in any way, do support us because we're making headway here. And then you have uh, synthetic. Again, all these words. In fact, did I spell that synthesis? Should be spelled like that? I think. Never mind. The point is, the model must be all inclusive. You can't have a model that explains everything that excludes certain fields of teaching or doesn't understand.
Now, you hear what he just said. You can't have a model that explains everything but excludes certain realms of teaching or whatever. I know the only word I messed up probably was realms. And I didn't mean to say it wrong. But you heard what he just said. And I know I said something around exactly the same lines. Now, at the end of the day, my stuff, like I say, with the number 12, you cannot explain the inverse square law. Okay. You cannot. It ain't going to work out to be, adding the same numbers. And then as well, likely with the odd number rule. See, my stuff, which is physics, okay, the number 12 is not prevalent with projectile motion. And I actually got a little diagram that I'm going to make for flat earthers with the projectile motion thing. It's gonna have I'm gonna take one and then basically quarter it out. Take one and use that as a quarter. Take the next one and use that as a quarter. Take another one and then take another one. So at the top you'll have arches up here, which would basically be like just like the dome, or just like you see the what do you say, the torus field model. And that's basically exactly what it creates is the torus field, okay? Projectile motion. And we say that our earth is what, well, flat earthers say that specifically, that that we're living in a projected reality. I mean, and you can see that projection through architecture. Whenever an architect draws out something such as this right here, this doesn't have to take or qualify for that because this is a straight on picture. But whenever you draw out something in perspective, okay, you have 2 point perspective and you have 1 point perspective. Okay. That's the Nazca lines concept right there. If we add anything right there, we all jacked up, and 12 ain't gonna work with that. It just ain't. There it is right there. I got it flipped right there. so that when you flip it like that, almost like a little comic book, you can see the same exact type of, you can see it being communicated that that's the center. The NASCAR Sun Star is literally the center, okay, of my work. And if you add on any number, one more number, just screw it all up. If you take away one number, it will screw it all up. And there's no way around it. So we're just gonna find a clear sheet for the project. I would do it right there, but I ain't. So what does a projection look like? Whenever a model of projection is brought up, y'all know how projection looks. We're gonna see if 2-point perspective real quick. We're gonna make some models of 2-point perspective real quick. I'm gonna do it. This is how you do 2-point perspective. You take two dots just like this. I'll make them huge so that y'all can see them. And we'll do multiple ones. One dot, and we got one dot. That ain't even on the same line, but it really don't matter because the same math is going to work out. Same logic at least. And then you draw a vertical line just like this. Simple. Now what you do from this vertical line right here, this is how you just create a simple city, which is what y'all other teachers have brought up as far as projection. Okay, the projection model of a city. Well, this is how you draw out that literally. Perspective shows the projection. So literally, if you draw a line from here to here, just like that, real simple, like one line. It's a sketch line, so it ain't one, of course. And you basically connect top up here at a line to this right here. Okay, each to each. And I'm gonna make sure I do a transparent model so that people can clearly comprehend. So you got that going that way. All right. And then you end up with this one going this way from the top to this dot. Now you do what? From the bottom to this dot. All right. These points that you see basically is like lights. Okay. It's like lights projecting something. Just like you see a Batman symbol up in the sky comes from one point. These points right here are all basically lights. And if you draw a line up just like this, doing it in the center in the white space so that it can be easily seen, and do a line like this, you basically do a three lines, all right, in the center. You can do it anywhere that you want to. It, like literally, and that basically changes the elongation, the width, and basically the whole width of the building for either side. All right. And then once you do the same exact thing for those lines, this line will go over here. All right. Now you can see the building coming out, and you do this line over here. All right. And you do the same thing for this right here. Go over here. You do the opposite side, not the same side. You don't go from right here and then go to this same. It's already done. You basically do your opposites, just like everything reciprocates as far as my work. 0 and 9 eat each other just like this. So it's the same thing going on with the projection in order to create a perfect. Now, as you can see, y'all know how you draw cubes, and they can easily be seen. And that's basically, how you draw one. Now, if you want another one, what do you do? Top to bottom. I mean, top to top. Right there. Then top to top. And you basically can erase those. This is the light. That's like the light that projects a building, right? I can put this in bold so that it can easily be seen. I ain't trying to do anything perfect. It's just a run through, literally. And this can easily, I didn't mean to do that, but easily be seen. All right. Just that simple. And you can add details like, buildings and, building lines and stuff like that. Just, sketching and stuff. Same thing over here. And if you, it don't have to be perfect. It can be different size. You got some buildings that's not perfect like that as far as even like a skyscraper. You got some long buildings that's longer than they is wide, and then you just basically like that. If you just want to do one line, because I'm getting ready to get to the and yeah, that's basically on the same type of line, not exactly, but as you can see, and if you erase these lines, you can just see the two buildings, which is boxes. I mean, they basically, but look at a building. You know, the simple geometry of a building is a box, what we consider a box or an elongated cube. Golly, this pencil is got a lot of eraser residue or lead on it. Golly, that just screwed it all up. Anyway, you can just basically do in details like that. So projection is perspective, literally. I just wanted to disclose that real quick. But yeah, as you can see right there with that work, all of that, that's the Nazca. This is basically my work. When I cut all of my work in half, which is all based on halves and quarters, that's what you get basically. That's that whole thing. So everything, I thought that was cool, just looking, because it almost looked like one of those seals when you look into the seal of different planets and stuff. And I was looking into something called a chaos star as well. I mean, and what I've discovered, I realize is like the counter of a chaos star, because a chaos star has 45-degree angles with arrows at the end. Those arrows, okay. So a lot of people, a lot of stuff, and what do you hear? Freemason, the order out of chaos concept. So a lot of people, you got to really, it's a lot of stuff that this ties into, man. Just 45 degrees all together.
Understand them and cannot relate to them. It's all interrelated. All things are interrelated. That's basically the premise of this school and this way of teaching. You're going to be teaching that all things are interconnected and interrelated. Here we're going to put astrology first, and here we're going to put etymology. Etymology, yeah. So the model has to be syncretic, astrological, and etymological. Now this one's a tricky one because once one realizes that astrology is nothing other than the science of electromagnetism, bye bye churches who are selling the lie that's from the devil, bye bye intellectuals saying that astrology is a pseudoscience, and this will be reinstated as the science, the mother of all sciences. It always has been. It will never be eliminated. It will never, ever, ever be completely stifled. It cannot be, because astrology is simply the natural, the explanation of natural phenomena. Pure and simple. It's based on nature. The etymological model, now this is where it gets tricky because we do not subscribe here at Syncretism Society to the nuclear model of the atom, i.e. electron, proton, neutron. I do reclaim those words and use them to explain the atom correctly. More correctly, the neutron is dielectricity, the electron is electricity, and the proton is magnetism. And they all coexist. This is the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. There is no other. You can search for the meaning, the most profound and occult and cryptic meaning of this forever, but you will find that the Holy Trinity is nothing other than black light, dielectricity, white light magnetism, and electricity, which is two-sexed hybrid energy, redshift, blue shift. All right. So here we have the method we're going to use is Bonacci, because I have done 10 years on my channel of showing this model. So if you follow the way I do it, which I'm going to start doing today with the Tropic of Cancer, the Equator, and the Tropic of Capricorn, and then you use the astrological model, then you're doing it the same way as I am, which is very important for all of these things to link up. Ecliptic, sine wave, Taurus, field, IV4E except after C. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. All right. Right. This is the method. This is how you teach the correct model. This is the correct model. Right. This is the correct method. Now, the ecliptic, everything you're going to be learning is ecliptic science. So you need to draw up a sine wave which is an ecliptic. So this is the method of teaching astrology and etymology, this sine wave, as you will see. That's the key. That's electromagnetism. There's many ways that it is displayed. It's sometimes like this, sometimes like this, sometimes it's like this. But this is, it's simply toroidal torsion field energy. That's all that's going on. This is all symbols of electromagnetism. When you understand that everything reduces down to electromagnetism, and you know exactly what electromagnetism is, which you will learn through the course of this these lessons, then you will understand that everything you see is based on electromagnetism. Whether it's in your church, whether it's in your school, whether it's at work, wherever it is, whether it's language, whether it's mathematics, it's all simply based on electromagnetism, as you will see. So the sine wave, well, that's the sine wave. It's actually called sinusoidal wave, and it's actually helical. So this is not two-dimensional, it's actually a helix. So you've got, looking down the barrel, it's like this. Okay? And it's double, and it's probably like the double helix. Every sine wave is described like this. There's an equator, and then there's the positive and the negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to be very, very smart. We're going to go way beyond this simplicity of duality. Positive and negative, boy, girl, hot, cold, bad, good. We're going to go beyond this. And we are going to put 12 different conditions and we're going to explain those conditions with physics. We're going to explain them with any science you like. I can do it theologically, I can do it electrically. And I'll show the 12 different conditions, which are none other than the signs of the zodiac along every wave. They all have their function. So this is wave function. Everything always begins with Aries, plasma, fire. Fire is plasma. Everything starts with plasma on every wave. This is Aries, and this is Pisces. And you'll find that every single wave that has ever been produced in the universe is astrological. And we're talking about sinusoidal waves here. Now, it's very important to understand that sinusoidal waves are transverse waves. There's two kinds of waves, or two kinds of energy: radiation and vibration. Tesla said if you want to understand the universe, you need to understand energy, frequency, and vibration. Vibration he put last because vibration is the illusion, it's the Maya, it's the result of what energy can produce. Energy puts out a frequency, that frequency then vibrates. And vibration is rooted in the word serpent. Serpent, sine wave. In the word vibora in Spanish, vibration, vibración, vibración, and vibora. In English, we use the word viper, but viper is rooted in vibration. So if you ever had had a good mushroom trip or LSD trip, you would have seen these little serpents. Or ayahuasca, you know what I'm talking about. But you're basically looking at nature from a counterspatial, different realm, not in body, not in emotional. It's not an emotional way of seeing the universe, nor is it mental. It's just how the universe really is. So, and the important thing is to connect up the torus field is the atom. These two, that's why I have, etymology is a very, very important word here. In the dictionary, you'll see what it means. It's anything pertaining to atoms. But, of course, we have the correct model of the atom, so you don't need to fear that I'm using words like, a lot of people hate words like understand, God, the devil, hell, atoms, because of how they've been conditioned to understand those words. Here we're going beyond the conditioning of these words, friends. We're speaking pure English, which is Anglish, the language of angels. And astrotheology is the best language. English is the best language for astrotheology. I've done this in many languages. And although it works in Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, which I have done, there is the connections with English is astounding, and I give my hats off to Linda Goodman, who spoke about in her famous book about the stars that about lexicograms and how English is very, very special when it comes to lexicograms. In other words, words within a word. English, there's nothing like English. English holds more power verbally, more power mentally than any other language known to man. That's why it is the language of angels, and it's called that, English. So this is what we're going to learn, folks. This is the model that you will be now be initiated to teach. So not only am I going to teach you, I'm going to teach you how to teach this. That's the important thing. Otherwise, we go round and round in circles, and we can bring this model to little children in kindergarten. It's so easy. If only children knew that everything was electromagnetic and waves. So these sinusoidal waves, they are transverse waves, and there is magnetism is not transverse. Magnetism is longitudinal. It's a longitudinal wave. So this would be radiation, and then the transverse wave, which is the resistance, that is electricity, and that's vibration. So here you have radiation, and here you have vibration. Radiation is radio waves. So for instance, if you drop a pebble in a pond, you're going to generate radio waves. Perfect radial waves. Those are longitudinal. They're always growing. That wave never diminishes. It always grows. But as it skims across the top of that pool, what happens now is this waves start to happen like this. because of the pressure, you see, through the medium. So, and this happens in the air. That's how you are hearing me, because of the pressure of waves hitting your tympana and hitting your inner ear. And so you are able to hear because of these transverse electrical waves. And there are 7 kinds of electricity which correspond to our 7 senses. The electricity which is produces sight is different to the electricity that produces touch. They are different electricities. This is explained in the holy book by Sri Yukteswar, The Holy Science. He says there are 5 electricities, only 5. But I agree with Manu P. Hall that there are, everything is 5 and plus 2, which is 7. Okay, so
Now, I have never heard about that from Manly P. Hall, specifically myself. But listen to what numbers he just specifically said. Didn't I just go through and add what is 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 9? 5 plus 6 plus 7 equals 27. But those numbers are polar opposites on my work. But what do they just happen to be? When you subtract them, you end up with 7 minus 5 equals 2. So that's right there. That's the yellow. Just in case for y'all don't know how to add. You got how many spaces in between 7 and 2? 7. And see, this is not just subtracting those numbers. That's the number of spaces that ends up coinciding congruently with in between each. You got, how did I get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. All right. Because if you count that as itself, starting at itself, it's not moved anywhere. Like with projectile motion, when you start from one point, you start at 0. Okay. So if you count this at its starting point, you everything in motion, any type of motion in this world starts at the speed of what? 0. That's very important. So you start off with no movement and you end up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 spaces. 7 minus 2 equals 5. Or, like he just said, 5 plus 2 equaling a 7. Okay. Which is the center, the very center of my work. Okay. I just wanted to disclose that real quick.
those 7 electricities, they are evident in the electromagnetic spectrum in the rainbow. So when you see a rainbow, which is in the shape of the curved heavens above us, you will see those 7 colors, which correspond to the 7 colors of the chakras, starting with red, then orange, then yellow. Yellow. Then I had it right the first time. Orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Now, a lot of people say that these are not the real colours. There's another set of colours. There are another set of colours, yes. But these are the electromagnetic colours that really do rule your chakras. Okay? So, and it's very important to understand, people in the world, this is called the electromagnetic spectrum. But where we want to be coming from is to be one step ahead of these quantum physicians and these scientists who really are pseudoscientists. We want to be smarter than them. It's electricity. Magnetism is the white light. Let me just grab. So I'm going to clean all this up. So what were we talking about?
Magnetism. It's a white light.
Okay. So you have a prism. If you're all aware of what a prism is, right? They shoot a ray of white light through here, and then what happens is at the other end you get a refracted 7 colours, which just automatically seem to pronounce themselves and manifest.
And to be honest, to be real, bro, I ain't never, when it comes down to the colors of the rainbow, but because I usually don't voice my subconscious to others like that. But when it comes down to the colors of red, blue, because they say Roy G. Biv, right? Which is supposed to be 7 colors, right? So at the end of the day, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. That one in there, indigo, is no blue and indigo is like the same color. It's not the exact same color, of course, but it's like two different shades of blue, basically. You know what I mean? So I've never really agreed. I agree that it's six because when I look at the rainbow, I see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple slash violet. You know what I mean? So I mean, at the end of the day, I see it as 6 colors up there, not 7. You know, but anybody could, of course, argue that.
Right there from red light. And this always happens. It's always these 7 colors. And they say, and it's red shift, it's nothing other than red shift, blue shift. That's all it is. And then all the colors in between, you'll see that the red has less refraction, but the blue and the violets, they have very sharp refraction as they go through the prism. Same, just if this were violet, so but the red is sort of long waves. But every time white light, magnetism, is projected through like a crystal or glass or a prism or anything like this, you always get these 7 colors. Right? So this is now that phenomena there is the most magical and important and significant phenomena of nature. Nothing trumps this in terms of importance and understanding this. This is where the key and the secret of everything will be understood when we understand this electromagnetic God. Some have it as God.
Now, when you think about that, think about what he's saying. He's saying nothing over. Now, what did I say? See, the same individual, BT, who referred me to this video in the first place. He's the same individual who said that he feels like I'm in the box when it comes to 45 degrees. Correct? Now, and it thinks that I love it too much. Okay. I just said at the beginning of this video, if you rewind it, I said, I'm not saying that 45 degrees or 0 3. I'm not saying that this right here is the end all be all to everything. Okay. He right there, with what he just explained and how he just said that's the root of it. He doesn't even, they don't even know about this because this is an original discovery. These scientists, like he's saying, we want to be the scientists. They don't know about this. Besides the people that I'm actually, the actual scientists, geologists, architects that I'm actually affiliated and working with right now at this moment. Those are the only people who know about this as far as mainstream science. So until what we say, knowledge is power. Once you have knowledge about something, that's when you can then apply it. I will not ever, because like I say, I might end up discovering something else just because based off of the fact that I have a broad mind. You know, I just discovered what I discovered at the end of the day because you cannot get over the fact that everything, when we look at everything in 4 ways, right? As far as X, we got the 4 cardinal directions. When you cut that in half, you get the other counter directions. Okay? Intermediate directions, I mean to say. Northeast, all of that stuff. Creating 8 spokes from a center point, which is the 9, the north. All right. Those 8 spokes, whenever you cut 360 degrees in half, you get 45 degrees. Whenever you continue, and even if you added 4 more spokes, which it isn't, what on is it for? No, it's 8 from that point. Because every time that you start cutting it in half, it doubles. All right. So when you cut it in half, whenever you cut a circle in half over and over and over and over again, you're always going to get 22.5. That's what a lot of people don't get. I'm going to go to my calculator real quick. That's what y'all not getting about this 4.5 possibly. They don't, you know, it's a universal constant. You just can't get around it everywhere that you look. It's just a part of reality that people have, omitted. Where is the calculator at, man? There it is. All right. Now, we take a full circle, right? And we cut it in half. Three, remember, he just quoted Nikola Tesla. Now, he quoted that Nikola Tesla said that energy, frequency, and vibration. He also said what he said about vibration. He laid that down, being the least important, right? Because energy creates the frequency, and frequency, it's just a byproduct, right? Okay. So, what else did Nikola Tesla say? Since he wants to, quote Nikola Tesla, 3, 6, and 9 are the key to the universe. So when you take 360, 3 plus 6 plus 0 equals what? It equals 9. Take 360 and we're going to cut it in half. 360 divided by 2 equals what? 180. We're going to cut it in half. We know what we get. Divided by 2 equals 90. We're going to cut it in half again. Now this is where it comes in. 90 divided by 2 equals what? Dang it. I mean, 90 divided by 2 equals what? 45. All right. Now this is where it starts at. Those are that right there. Whenever you take a circle and cut it into 4 directions, all right? Because you cut it in half once, you get 180 degrees, which is the line, which would be the ground line that we live on. All right. You put that center pole in the center and you end up with 90 degrees. You end up with 4 quad, or quad basically. You 90, 90, 90, and 90. Okay, you take those 90s and you cut them in half and you end up with 8 sections. All right. 8 equals ether. Ether, all right. Earth, which is why 1 and 8 are colored green on my work. I did not do anything just for fun, okay, or just because it's pretty colors. The number 8 is synonymous with the ether. That's why when you look at the number 8, it looks just like the ether. When you look up at what the ether, which is, they pull up the torus field, right? It literally looks like a torus field if you turn it to the side, or even if you turn it up ways, it's basically the inverted torus field, the hourglass shape that's in the center. All right, so that right there, Earth, ether, 8. So 8 ether, 1 being the first, being the polar opposite of it. Cut 45 into half, which is 8, okay? 45 divided by 2 equals what? You get 22.5. This is where I'm saying about the decimal. That's what I'm saying with the 4.5. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 0.5. Okay, you got 22.5 is half of 45, all right? 22.5. The point is the decimal. Okay, that's where everything emits from. That's the center point right here that you see with my work right here in the center. All right. So 22 plus 2 plus 2 equals 4.5. Now you cut that in half and we're going to see what we get. Divided by 2 equals 11.25. All right. The decimal is moving. All right. But pay attention to it, because this is how they claim that you get 360 degrees in a circle, which is not. Because you don't just take 360 degrees and just slap it on the circle and then start cutting it in half and then say, voila, this is how you get 360 degrees. That's not how you do it. Because that's like, just you can take any number and start cutting it in half like that. I'm just showing y'all the essence of 4.5 right now. So 11.25. 25 equals what out of 100? It equals a quarter. 1 plus 4 equals 5. 1 quarter equals 1/4. So 25 goes into 100 four times. That's why 4 quarters equals a dollar. Even if you look at and break down the money system itself, you add all of the coins up, you're going to end up getting 14. If you look at the back of the dollar bill, you also have the stars that's back there in the back. And I had disclosed where everybody talk about the number 13. I brought up 13 as far as the clock. The clock is 0 through 13. It's not just 1 through 12. It's based off of the mat. I don't really want to use magic, the word magic, but it's it's built off of the number 13. That's what it's displaying. That's why I showed y'all with the vortex-based math with the 0, the 1 through 9 on the circle, which is the Masonic encampment. 1 through 9 is 10 characters. As far as when you count that 0, the circle itself as a 0. The circle of the clock itself is the number 0. So when you count that as an actual number, which I proved 0 is a number, you end up with how many? When you count every last number, 0 through 12, you end up with 13. All right. So that's 13 numbers that's what the number, the clock at least that we, number 13 is prevalent there, just to say that. But 11.25, going back to what I'm saying, 25 equals a quarter. But it just so happens to be 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals what? 4. 11. Or you can just add on either side of the decimal. You can end up with 2 right there and then 0.25, which is 225. Like, like we just had right there, 22.5, which is 4.5, like I said. So you end up with 11.25 because the decimal is moving. But like I said, 25 is a quarter. Now, what also, if you're paying attention to what was just said by Santos Bonacci himself, what did he bring up about Manly P. Hall? He said 2 and 5, which 2 and 5 is 7, right? Which he was just saying the number 7, right? That's where I'm showing y'all 2 and 7, right? It's right here in y'all face. It's right here. 2 and 7. If you cut it in half, my work is basically, I'm showing y'all how what he's talking about right now, my work already encompasses that. It's within my work. So whatever he's talking about, you ain't gonna get around the fact that it's right here. 11 is 2, but then when you add 25, what do you get? 2 and 5, which the man just said, you get 7, right? Right. So you get 2 and then point and then 7. So 2 and 7, which comes out to be 9, of course. You're never going to leave that 9 out. All right. So 2 and then point and then 7 when you add those literally for what they are. So we're going to divide 11.25 in half. 11.25 divided by 2 equals 5.625. All right. Now you got 5, and you can only imagine that the other side should, if everything adds up to be 9, it has to add up to be 4. Okay. 6 plus 2 equals 8. 8 plus 5 equals 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4. So on one side, yes, you will have 4. 5.4. That's your 4 and 5 right there. But if you pay attention to this point, the decimal that's moving one space every time that I'm just so happening to divide it, 5 and 6 equal, you got this, the numbers that you see that are consistent is the 2 and 5. Like he was just saying 2 and 5 and the 7. You're getting that literally right there, 2 and 5. It's always going to be 2 and 5. Those last two numbers is going to be 2 and 5. But I just proved to you out with the 5 point and then the 4. 5 and 4, 4 and 5, they all reciprocate within my work. All right. 5.625. All right. So 5 and 6, if we just, like I just said about the 2 and 5, which is a constant. That's a constant. It keeps on happening. 5 and 6, if you add them equals what? 11. And you got 2 and 5, which equals 7. So 11 you got again right there. Okay? So we're going to divide it again. We get 2.8125. I can only imagine that the other side of the decimal has to add up to be 7 if 2 is on the other side of the decimal, okay? Which is the same numbers that we're talking about, 2 and 7, all right? So 8 plus 1 equals 9, and 9 plus 2 equals 11. 11 plus 2 equals 16. I mean, 11 plus 5, which is that last number, equals 16. All right. 1 plus 6 equals 7. So you get 7 on the other side as well. All right. This is a universal constant. This is something that consistently happens. And what I'm pointing out about that quarter aspect, the quarter, which is everything that you see as far as my work is separated up into what? It's all separated into quarters. That's why I've been talking about my name, Corey, quarter, quartz crystals. Okay, Corey, quartz. That's what, literally the etymology of my name comes back to deal with quartz. Or it's synonymous with it, at least as far as the quarter, four, the number four, the core of something, which is like I'm saying right here, the core I. All right. That's why I put my I in the center of my work. All right. Now you divide that in two again. You get 1.40625. Now we getting real small now, and it's still 2 and 5 is the last same digits. So if one is on the other side, y'all can only imagine that the other side adds up to be what? It's 8. Okay. 4 plus 6 equals 10. 10 plus 7 equals 18. Hold on now. 4 plus 6 equals 10. 10 plus 2 equals 12. 12 plus 12. Golly. 12 plus 5 equals 17. And you get 1 plus 7 equals 8. Okay. Sometimes I had them moments. So you get 8 on the other side, and you get 1 on the other side. 1 and then point, and then you get 8. So it's going through the numbered pairs that you see right here. It's going through those. All right. And you have that last quarter, the 2 5, 2 and 5 equaling that 7 that he just brought up. I'm not doing anything to go over or omit what he's saying. It's not going against what he's saying. I'm showing actually in supports of it. What that man just brought up with the 2 and the 5 is right here with my work. Okay. So it's 100% relevant and 100% on topic. I'm just disclosing what he's talking about as far as he's saying that that's the base of everything and everything. That's within my work. So it can't be the base, is all I'm proving right there. That's within my work. The Masonic square and compass is literally, this is it, dude. Nobody ain't ever did that. Like literally. The Nazca lines, this center, the Nazca Estrella, nobody has ever did this. Literally. That's why people and nobody has ever been able to argue, and I'm waiting on it to this day. I say that faithfully and great man. I'm amazed by it, but it's not to brag at all. It's just like, it's 100% amazing to me to see this lines up with so much stuff. No matter what people bring up, it's always going to be relevant and add up to be congruent with whatever gets brought up as far as electromagnetism, which he brought up, light. I already disclosed here how light travels at a 45-degree angle. Okay. When I did my multiverse video, light travels at a 45-degree angle. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this play. I just thought that was and I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. That with that 2 and 5, that's straight off of my dome. That's straight. That's right now. I just did that right. Like that's right. I've been knowing about the 2 and 5 being the last, but just because he brought that up, and it's crazy that's called like what did he say? Syncretism, right? Boy, that's it right there. That's called being in sync. I'm gonna let this play though.
Because it is omniscient, it's everywhere, it always has the same laws, it never changes, and we're going to see what those are when we look at Ken Wheeler's work on with magnets. We're going to see that torus field and how energy is looping like this.
And he just brought up the torus field. He just said it. So that's what I'm saying. That number 8 and all that stuff all got. I'm showing y'all how when with the number code, bro. You can't do this with no other number system. That's what I'm now. When you take 12 and do that, we're gonna see what happened when you take 360 and divide it by 12. All you're gonna get is even numbers. Okay, even numbers, or not just even. I mean, but solid numbers. Okay, and that's why they say 12 is a very important number. I'm not saying that it's not. I even said that I'm going to actually look, and it's at 33. I'm going to look into 12 more when I'm done with my work. This project is taking so much time for me to build. I can't help that, but I'm definitely looking into other numbers as well. But I proved that with the square, you cannot do this with no other number, man. It stops at 9, and that's for a reason, bro. The loop is created at 9. That's for you can't get around it. Okay. So 360 divide oh shoot. 360 divided by 12. You get 30. All right. Then you divide by well 12. Well, hold on now. Well, you get never mind with that. Never mind with that, because that's just gonna take us down a road that's really obsolete and not even because I was gonna do 30, divided by 12. We know that 12 don't go into 30 100% and everything, but it's just we'll definitely do work on 12 here soon. I gotta get back to my what's the name? Drawing.
So these are the 7 gods. This is Noah's Ark. Noah is the white light, and the 7 passengers are the passengers of this ark. That's all it is. This is Snow White and her 7 dwarves. Snow White is the white light of magnetism, and these are the 7 helpers. This is Samson, the sun god, who has 7 braids of hair. This is, as they say, of Ra, the 7-rayed god in Egypt. Here in Mexico, we have the birthplace of Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl is the rainbow serpent. In Australia, where I come from, it's called the rainbow serpent, because they all know that God, this dragon, this is the dragon, the feathered dragon, Quetzalcoatl, the creator, Jehovah, the archons. These are all coming from this electromagnetic spectrum. This is Lucifer. In fact, the white light here is Lucifer, the light bearer. See how we're going into theology here? All right. This is where you really need to pull out all your reserves of knowledge and what you've been taught and try to bring it to the fore. It's very, very important. And here we have Satan. Red shift, blue shift. Satan is always red. The world of Satan. Because through here only can material forms exist. Below this, you'll understand why I'm saying below in a minute. Infrared, infra means below, so below that and above ultra, violet, we cannot see and nothing material exists. So only here can materiality or the illusion of time and space appear. So this is electrical and this is magnetism, the force which sustains the electrical world. Magnetism is 10 billion times more powerful than electricity. That's according to all the greats. Faraday, Maxwell, guys like that, Steinmetz, and all of these great geniuses. They calculations come up with about 10 billion times magnetism. Magnetism is radiation. Electricity is vibration. That's the simplest way to put it. The electrical world, the world of El, the god El or Bel. This is the evil world simply because it is material and temporal. And only in that sense should it be conceived as evil. All right, so the light bearer Lucifer is creating God, the God of this world, Satan, who is the God of this world, the electrical world. So, what we're going to learn is that.
So to all of y'all who are afraid of the 1 through 9 or the 10 aspect that I've been showing y'all, that's just a fact of reality at the end of the day. You know that you can't get you got 10 fingers, man. What you gonna say? You know, at the end of the day, he's showing you how 7 is related to 7. I mean, say Satan, like he's saying, Saturn. And this is all factual based as far as etymology, and all of that in regards, okay? You can say that a lot of stuff is, I mean, y'all, I want y'all to really think about it, man. Please, you know, as far as the number system. The only numbers that I can well, I just thought about that too. I thought about two because I in my mind I just went through every number just that quick and said, you know, pretty much every number, you know, you can say that it has something to do with Satan. You know, as for, I want y'all to really think about that though, because people really do that. They'll say 10 is Satan. Well, and we're gonna skip one, and I'll come back to that one, I guess. But number two, I was gonna say, you know, that ain't got nothing to do with it. We never hear about that. But then think about it again. The double, devil, okay? Two, double is devil, right? Same etymology. Diva, double, um, okay, devil. And two, the demiurge, okay? You know, that's dealing with two, okay? Two different ways. Okay, then the three, the mark of the beast, right? The three scratches, okay? And then as well, now number four, I ain't gonna lie, right there, I can't think of one. Okay, the number five, the tetragrammaton with the five. People usually try to say with that 5 point star inverted, and they try to say as well with the upright one that it is dealing with the devil. Okay. I'm not saying that. That's what other people have tried to say. Okay. Number six, we all know that the people say the number six is associated with the devil. He's just now going through number seven and explaining how number seven is dealing with the devil. If you Google what number is most associated, hold on, I'm texting somebody. Okay. Number eight, if you Google what number is most associated with Saturn, it ain't 45 like y'all probably thinking, and like I showed y'all with the magic square of Saturn. Number, I'm Googling it right now. Most associated with Saturn. Okay, it's number eight. I'm going in order. Okay. Now, the ruler of number eight, as you can see right there, is Saturn, and they got a bunch of stuff showing because I read this partially once. I'll read it. I'll read it real quick. Read part of it. I don't know how long it is. I can't. Dang, it's pretty long. Like I said. Anyway, planet Saturn is the ruler of number eight, and person born on 8, 17, and 26 comes under the leadership of planet Saturn. Saturn is considered to be the most important planet in both the fields of astrology and numerology. But there are things one must know about the most feared planet in this world. Planet Saturn is considered as the malefic or evil planet by most astrologers and numerologists throughout across the world. The main reason for this being Saturn, harsh way of punishing a person, as well as being the lord of 10th house in astrology. Okay, 10, say like y'all be saying. So y'all, I ain't never seen anybody really talk about Saturn in its association with number 8. Okay, one's mode of death is determined by the position of planet Saturn in one's horoscope. The 7 years of Saturn's period is also the reason for people to be afraid of him. But to the contrary, Saturn is not an evil or a malefic planet as one describes, which is what I be trying to get people to realize. That's how y'all be thinking. When y'all go to a nature based mindset and you really meditate and you think about the what was here, the information and how people explain Saturn and what they associated with, or was the stars up there that God put up there specifically itself first? God put the stars, the Astrayas up there first. The explanations that people have associated with it came after. Okay. So who do y'all want to believe, man, or you just want to go to the neutral based nature and just find out by yourself? Because that's what I did. All right. Saturn up there at the end of it, and if you look at it, it's at a 45-degree angle. Okay. So and one thing about Saturn is it's one of those planets that really makes you question. You look at it up there and it's not like the other planets. It's the one planet is in our solar system that stands out amongst the other ones. Okay, you see a big ring around it, looks like an eye in the sky almost. And it's it's just like it's not consistent with other planets. It stands out. And I ain't saying in a good, to be good. I'm just saying from a neutral position, it stands out. And when you look at other stars and what we consider as planets and stuff like that, you do not see a Saturn type of mind. So it's something um, I ain't gonna say special, but very unique about Saturn that communicates something. I feel like to human beings. Okay, it's their placed by the Creator. No man can go up there and touch it. Y'all even say that ain't nobody been to none of these planets. Okay, no man can go up there and alter that. All right, I don't worship the sky and everything up there. I really, to be honest to y'all, I don't really worship nothing. I'm really on the search for the truth. Just I'm one, and I'm not saying that I'm an atheist. I know saying that I don't worship nothing is not saying that I don't believe in God. I know it's a God, or I know it's a higher power. And when I say God, a lot of people, like I said, y'all stuck in a certain mind frame. He's saying God. He's saying this. Y'all got to get out that loop mindset, man. He just even said with the whole English language. Would y'all agree with that? You know what I mean? Was English stolen from us potentially? Was it a black thing for hell? They stole everything else, right? Okay, maybe English was a black thing first. And, why is the Masonic Lodge the Grand Lodge of England, hmm? Which is right above Africa? It ain't too far away from Africa, all right? If we claim that these people really come from a lot of people claim that white people come from cold regions. Well, the coldest regions is really the North Pole, just like you see polar bears and other white animals. Okay, the North and South, so that's Antarctica and Arctic. If we be real, other regions like England, Africa, China, that's not snow covered. Okay, they get England gets snow, yeah, but it's not snow covered. Sun still gets there and it can get hot sometimes. It's certain stuff that you gotta think outside of the box and not just be I'm always thinking outside of the box, literally, but some people, when you make a real deal discovery, hey, they just want to be the mud in the water or the drop of blood in the water because they like, man, is you serious? Like they, anyway, to continue the reading, planet Saturn is considered to be a malefic or evil planet by astrologers and numerology across the. I think I already read all of that. But to the contrary, Saturn is not an evil or a malefic planet as one describes. That's absolutely right. At the end of the day, how you gonna say a planet up there is evil when you ain't even touched it? If can't nobody touch it, how y'all and y'all flat earthers as well? A lot of y'all associate Saturn with evil. No, that's the imagery that the people who give y'all, L, all of this, they associate evil with that. They applied that to that. Okay. Now, But to the contrary, Saturn is not an evil or a malefic planet as one describes. Well, Saturn, along with the Uranus, Pluto, and Mars, are considered to be evil planets by so-called astrologers. But they have failed, I mean, to inter whoa, I'm so sorry about that. Excuse me, man. I burped. But they have failed to interpret the true meaning of Saturn's nature. And those born on the dates like 17, 26, 26, 8, or or life path 8, it's completely unfair to term Saturn as a cruel and malign planet. Okay. Saturn is the planet of wisdom, pure justice, teacher, and one who finally initiates the holy process called death in one's life. Okay. When a person is born on 8, 17, 26, or with Saturn's influence, they are likely to lead a life full of difficulties, challenges, sorrows, pain, hardships. Golly, man, that's something else to hear that. And, and a dark life, or the opposite of it, like kingly life, merry, joyful life, highly successful. Okay. The influence of Saturn directly in a person, numerologically born in 17, 8, or 26, astrologically moon sign, with Saturn or Saturn Lagna, simply means that the person is living his last life and will never be born again. That's why you see what I'm saying about that? This is something that when people hear something like that, it triggers them to be like, whoa, I mean, even me myself, my subconscious is like, that's something else hearing that, but I see through that. Okay. I got an uncle that's born on the 26th. All right. And I can tell you that he is doing, well, I ain't about to, if that's the case, like it said something up here earlier. It said that uh it said up here that, but they have failed to interpret the true meaning of Saturn's nature, and those born on dates like 17, 26, 8, or life path 8. It's completely unfair to term Saturn as a cruel, malign planet. Saturn is the planet of wisdom, pure justice, teacher, and one who finally initiated the holy process called death in one's life. If that last part is what I was looking for and trying to highlight, and one who finally initiate the holy process called death in one's life. If that's the case, then as soon as you born from day one, you initiating the process called death in one's life. As you living. You know what I mean? I know it's plenty of people I'm pretty sure was born on the 26th, 8th, 17th, and they live probably to be 100 years old. I mean, let's be real. A lot of stuff is almost like religion, man. Even with numerology. That's why I focus on the facts. Like Balanced Truths try to say, you know, focus on reality is one of his main things he love to say. That's what I do, bro. Focus on reality. I'm showing you the reality when it comes to, and then y'all will say with these fingers when I'm doing this. Y'all so scary, man. Some of y'all so scary, bro. Come on, man. Like, come on, bro. I had to mess with y'all, man. Look, bro, the numbers themselves, nothing can exist. If your cells could not replicate from one cell to two cells to four cells to eight cells to 16 cells to 32 cells to 64 cells, which is how every single human being was born. Every human being also has two grandparents, okay, or two parents, I mean. And if you have two parents, this is the fact that everything comes from splitting or two. We all got two parents. Therefore, we all have to have four grandparents. We all got eight great grandparents. Okay, if you exist, and there's no way around it. And the list goes on from 8 to 16 great grandparents. Okay, and your great grandparents, you have to be 32 of those. This is the family tree. That's what this is something you cannot get around. Okay. And I just gotta express that to y'all, because it's very deep, man. It's so it go this literally is that's why I can explain in dealing with everything that somebody bring up when it comes to real science, real physics. It literally ties into everything because this is the universal code, and there's no way around it. I'm not stretching it. And I don't get on here just to talk. That's why I don't be on here. And what was my video? I think I said I wasn't going to explain nothing else to y'all. That brother, like I said, if he didn't want me to listen to this because he felt like I would learn something from it. Of course I'm hearing something from a different perspective, but I'm showing you at the end of the day, bro, it's all that he's talking about is within my work. He's drawing a yin yang right there. If you draw a circle around this right here, all you got to do is put those dots in there. One is negative and one is positive. The top is positive, the bottom is negative. When you dig a hole into, if this is the flat earth, all right, if this is the flat earth, all right, 0 through 9 is the line. The mother herb diagram that I drew, the delta right here, all right, the flower growing up from the ground. The flower grows up, all right. And when I say the flower, marijuana specifically, and comes out to be this exact same math created by the counter space, all right. One is what one leaf starts off with, and when you see marijuana grow to the next stage, it grows three prongs. Y'all can go to the internet and look it up. Remember, I ain't never grew marijuana in my life, all right. So at the end of the day, you can look on the internet and see this, okay? It starts off from a seedling, one petal, and then the next level is what? 3 petals. The level after that is 5 petals, all right, which is the average number of leaves or fingers that you're going to see a marijuana leaf grow or a plant leaf grow. Then you get 7, 9, and it goes by odd numbers, okay? Like I said, the odd number rule, dealing with the inverse square law, okay? It's real simple. And when the marijuana grows, it grows in aspects of 90 degrees when it starts off. The first one start off one way, and then it starts off making a plus sign for the next section goes this way. It starts off, the first one goes is 1 petal and then 1 petal. When you get to the 3, it's going to go this way, and you're going to have 3 going that way, 3 going that way. When you get to 5, it's going back up and down. You're going to have 5 going that way, 5 going that way. You end up with 3 levels at that point. All right. And then once you get to that point, it depends on the strain and everything, because that's what happens when you mix different strains and stuff. But it starts to actually grow at 45 degrees. It starts to cut it in half. If you pay attention, it's real science. So this is something that's based on reality. Okay. And I just love explaining this, man. That's part of what I'm here for, bro. If I was not born, bro, the world would not notice. If I wasn't born, the world would have noticed, bro. This ain't drawn and this ain't out here at all. Nobody, I didn't find this anywhere. I created this all myself. So if I wasn't born, the world wouldn't even notice. So that's why I'm very appreciative for the mind that I was given. And I just thank God. Like literally, I thank God. This has given me a closer relationship with God. That's just a fact, man. I thank God every day that I wake up for what because I was at one point in my life asking for a miracle. And this is the miracle. Y'all just have to be able to wake up to see it. And I've been saying as well, I've been realizing myself, if some people ain't woke to what you then did, especially when it's something like this that can get you super rich. Out the ass rich. Or an original discovery. It's probably best for people not to actually realize the the impact of it. You get what I'm saying? That's how you end up being a target. Okay. But I already got stuff set up for that. All right. So I'm realizing that as well. I ain't complaining about what people don't realize no more. To me, I'm just glad I realize it. That's all that matters to me is that I realize it. Okay. That's and well, I ain't gonna say that's all that matters because I wouldn't be explaining it or doing the work and caring about humanity, I wouldn't have the heart to care for humanity and the knowledge that I'm trying to disperse if it was just for me. I would have kept it to myself and just, worked with who I need to work with. So I just don't care about people's ego at the end of the day. And I'm thinking that this just ain't um, the ground basis. I ain't saying it's the end all be all. Shit, did creation end with this? No, it didn't. It didn't. All I'm saying is that this right here is the base of everything, and you can never get around it.
There's a black and white yin and yang, and there is a
I just almost cussed in the background because I said I was I can't remember what time it was at, but I accidentally pressed forward. It was at 37:14. I just saw, but I was explaining something. Excuse me. Okay. Now I just said what I said about the yin and yang, the yin yang. Okay.
billion times. Magnetism
Hold
is
on.
is
And I didn't
radiation.
I didn't
Electricity
show it
is
like that.
vibration. That's the simplest way.
Hold on.
The electrical
Whoa.
world, the world,
Okay.
they call it
Now
this dark matter. You know,
the dot, as I would realize, I guess. I mean, you would guess. I guess I would say that the dot is the 45-degree aspect that's coming in the center, because the yin yang itself slash the circle. That's what I'm when they say square in the circle. This right here is literally a big old square. That's what it comes out to be when you connect this line on my perfect dot. If I got my perfect one, my perfected one, this line right here to this line right here, and then this right here, it all is always gonna create a big perfect square, no matter what. You'll never be able to break the square. Zero starts right here, which is the I guess I'll say no. I guess I'll say that that's the mouth. I'll say the beginning. You can either or. I guess the beginning of the snake's mouth, or the either way it goes. The tail of the yin yang end. Because I think this looks like a tail literally. So I mean that's why I guess a mouth is open when it eats. So that we could say that's a mouth. All right. So the mouth will be right here. The tail will be right here. And then down here, you got the reciprocating motion, just like the yin yang you see right there. All right. I don't even think y'all can actually see what I'm. Can you, yeah, y'all can. Okay, that's good, good, good. Our cook was good. That's a good breakdown on that seven already, brother. 100. That's what I'm talking about. Um, 0 to 9. It's a reciprocating motion. All right. You got the mouth that'll be right here. I mean, the mouth that'll be right here. The tail will be right here. The correct Ouroboros ain't, I mean, you can do it as just a snake biting its own tail, but you also have another depiction, which this goes to my very first videos. The tail and the mouth is two snakes. It can be two snakes as well. The mouth right here, tail right here. Mouth right here, tail right here. Reciprocating motion. It'll never end. Okay. But where is the snake biting its own tail? 0 through 9. It's right here. It's the square. So square in a circle. And the 9 is the compasses. Compasses. What is a compass? A compass itself. When they say compasses in Freemasonry, the reason that they say compasses is because what is a compass or compasses? You got two lines. I mean, just in order to create a circle, all you need is a line. And how do you create? You grab the center and pivot it. And I mean, if you literally nailed it down and you just however you need to do it, just create based on that center pivoting motion, like y'all said. One would be the sun, one would be the moon, if you want to put it like that, and pivot it like that on the full moon, on the, you know what I'm talking about, just like that, and that creates a circle. All you got to do is keep, if that stays in the same spot, you pivot it, swivel it. Compass is ES, meaning plural, two legs. All right, two legs, just like that. That's simple. And you swirl it just like that. It's that simple. It's that simple.
The void, and all of these names, foam, black foam, all these creepy names. But all they're trying to do is they're trying to hide the fact that this black light is the ether, and it's dielectric.
Oh yeah, Cook. I mean what I said too, bro. I might not be in the lodge, and I'm not doing what I'm doing just to get in the lodge either. I'm doing what I'm doing because at the end of the day, as an artist, if you're gonna get out there, you're gonna get out there, and that's what I'm doing. And I said what I said and meant it, bro. That we got the dopest Masonic lodge as far as the architecture. It's crazy. Like I look at it, I'm like, dude, it's huge. You know, and it's upstairs. I mean, above ground and underground. I'm pretty sure most of them is, but I just went through all 50 states and looked at them, man, and man, where I'm at, it just stands out for whatever reason. You know, that's where Albert Pike was stationed at for a grand long time. So I mean, at the end of the day, it stands out to me, man. But I'm doing what I'm doing, man. I'm just getting my work out there, bro, and working with the correct people that I need to work with that'll comprehend what I'm doing. Nobody's ever did this, but it's yeah, y'all missed something, bro. And I say that factually because with the Nazca lines, if you Google anything with Freemasons and the Nazca lines, ain't nothing gonna pop up. I'm the only person bringing it, so I'm literally introducing something new that y'all folks literally, bro. It got to deal with y'all, bro. Whether people want to accept that or not, and it's truth based. I realize something about y'all's work that I think other people really don't. Now, am I saying I as well? I know that y'all know some stuff that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know that y'all do, but I knew something y'all didn't. I just chose to put it out there. I just chose to put it out there. You get what I'm saying? So that man, you know, I know that y'all can't tell me certain things and everything, but I'm never being too naive to where or even just one side and biased to where I'm not open to hear the truth. I just don't think that it's gonna go to that degree. I think that I'm pretty sure if y'all say, damn, if he figured this out right here, he gonna be able to figure out the rest by itself, probably. And all I can say is it can get scary to a degree. You know, once you really just look at stuff for what it could possibly be. And the way that I'm gonna sum it up is that the earth could be hell, man. We could be living in hell, and a lot of us not really, I mean, look at all of the ancient symbology. I know you ain't gonna say nothing to that, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, hey, we'll just keep it moving.
And then white light is magnetic. Magnetism means to move in Sanskrit, mag, and it makes magnitude. Ken Wheeler says it makes time, magnitude, time and space. He says magnetism and magnitude and time and space and God are one and the same thing.
Now to back to just the broad speaking to everybody. Had to shout out my guy Cook, man. I saw you over there, bro. On Sanchez's too. And well, he just mentioned time right here, and likewise, that's what I've been saying as well. I know that y'all know some. Look, man, the Masons go by a different time as well. Y'all know about a different time, or the possibly the correct time that we're supposed to be living in. I can tell y'all that much. So potentially, um, I'm not saying that this is the true clock that I'm discovering, but I can tell you that this is where the first loop is created. That's why when he brings up 12, like he about to do in the rest of the video, it syncs with this right here. I mean, 9 plus 3 equals 12, which is 3, 33rd degree. You know, I ain't saying that that's what that means, but I'm just saying, that's the numbers 3 and 3 right there. 9 plus 12 equals 3. I mean, well, yeah, 9 plus 12 equals 3 because 9 plus 3. I just tripped it. Well, that works too. That works too. 9 plus 12 equals 21, which is 2 plus 1 equals 3. So that either way it go. But yeah, 9 plus 3 equals 1, 2, which is 12. And 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, so you got 3 and 3 right there. So I mean, that it's just man, this right here is something else, man. I'm telling you, goodness.
So what happens is this is the monad, and this is the dyad, the demiurge. This is the world of duality, redshift, blue shift. Here we have electricity, L. L is the god here, the false god L. That's why in Spanish we say el hombre, the man, because it's about electricity. This also comes from the word Elohim, which means twisters, because this is torsion fields. This generates torsion fields. Mag means to move. Dielectricity is to rest in motion. So here we have inertia and acceleration, force and motion. Here is where we need to begin to take mental notes, because these are details which you must be the master of. Here is where you want to now concentrate and imagine yourself being the teacher of this. How are you going to explain this black light? How many ways can you explain it? Well, here you have the name for it. It's dielectricity. It comes from both of these are the ether, both of them. And when these two, as Ken Wheeler said, when these two move against each other, force and motion, inertia and acceleration, the two universal co-eternal principles, they produce a hybrid energy, which is temporal, time-space, redshift, blue shift, transverse wave, the false world of Maya. And you'll see that this is on the South Korean flag, and they tell you clearly it has all the elements of the earth, and then it has you see the I Ching elements, earth, fire, air, and water. It's telling you the South Korean flag. It's giving you science. So here is where the beginning of the nomenclature begins when you're going to be teaching syncretism. That you must understand that there are three. That's the Trinity. This is the Trinity: dielectricity, black light; magnetism, white light; electricity, red shift, blue shift, and that's it. This is nahual. This is tonal. Interesting. Again, tone. It's all about sound. Tonal. Tonal, nahual. Nahual. When I lived in Masunte, every day I would see out in the ocean the black rock right next to the white rock. And the people know why those stones are there, because that's the southernmost point of Mexico, and they call that black nahual and the white tonal. That's where you get the word negate, Negro, nigger.
Now, I wanted to say as well, it's really funny, like the levels of support that I get from either end. It's real funny. So that's why I say is what y'all can talk as much stuff as y'all want to about Freemasons, but all I realize is that which are predominantly white. As far as the mainstream and everything. Okay. But what I am gonna say is that as far as non-Freemasons, and this is really at non-Freemasons, my support mainly comes from them. As far as when I'm talking about 45, most black people try to tear me down. I'm just being honest. And I brought up this in the past on other panels that when it comes down to us as black people and how we our character and how we act, our culture, how come it is like, do you hear about any type of country music? Look at our music and what we create. We say that, everything that we do, they try to copy, right? As if everything that we do is right, as if our culture is better than theirs in some type of way. I say on my end that both cultures have some screwed up things about them that they do. All cultures have something bad that they do to a degree, is how I see it. And at the end of the day, when have you ever heard of country beefs? Hmm? You know, when have you ever heard of country music beefs about a country song about where a white country man is rapping this? I mean, is singing about I'm gonna kill this motherfucking cracker when I see him. Like, so, come on. Like, I'm just being real. If we equivalent with it, when have you ever heard of something like that? You ain't. When have you ever heard of electronica beefs? When have you ever heard of? And we talking about stuff that they predominantly, and then a black person, or they'll try to argue we created country. Okay, that well, we talking about who is we mainly running it? No, we not. White people mainly run the music industry as far as the rap industry. When we talking about money and funding, we are the only culture that promotes a beef culture, is what I'm getting at. And what I'm saying is that I get more negative inputs, non-support from my own people than I do with white people. See what white people do and Mexicans, because I say I ain't gonna say Mexicans, but people from down low America, from Mexico on down, because South America, when they see my work on Instagram, they send me stuff that's relevant to my work that actually confirms my work. All y'all niggas around here, all y'all that never did on YouTube, as far as when y'all come around here, y'all either shut up and be quiet, or y'all come on here and when you gap your mouth or type up on here, you want to say something, like you stuck in a box for 45 degrees. Instead of looking into what you've not said one thing that supports my work. You just look for the quickest way that you think you got me as far as you think Santos Bonacci, just because he got more followers than me, that he more right than me or something. You think just because Nikola Tesla created and invented stuff that he's more right than me or on something, or that Nikola Tesla, I can guarantee it, if he was here to see my work, that's one person who would definitely comprehend what I'm saying and be astounded by my work. I'm just being 100% real. No way around it. I said because he said what he said about Walter. That's why I brought that up. And y'all don't even mention Walter Russell. When Walter Russell actually created cosmology out here that y'all can really look into. Okay? Y'all talk about Nikola Tesla and speculate whether he was a flat earther, globe earther. Some of y'all say Nikola Tesla was a flat earther. But look into Walter Russell's work. Okay? There's no way around what I'm telling y'all, man. It might be a hard pill to swallow, but most of y'all is caught up in, I don't know what the deal is, bro, but white people, no matter what people say about them, it's a difference between, and we got to get our own stuff together. All we do is beef. Even my disagreements that I've had with Sanchez, I hated that I had to have them. That's not what I want other people to see me as. It's just the person who disagree and disagree and disagree and disagree. I had those disagreements with him that I felt like the man to this day, at that time was looking over my stuff, which he was. It ain't just no felt. It's a fact that he was looking over my comments and stuff when I was laying them down there. He was wanting me to really get on the panel and everything. That's what he was wanting. But I had my reasons of why I did not just do that. Okay. Had to make sure. Uh, I had my reasons of why I didn't just do that off the jump. And people, they ain't walking in my shoes, so they wouldn't comprehend. They'll think you're just making excuses and stuff. But I still got on there and I discussed what I needed to discuss with them. I'm not here to beef. I don't hate on anybody. What reason do I have to hate on anybody when I created something that the world ain't that everybody literally ain't never created? I ain't got to hate on nobody, homie. I'm just being honest. I ain't never been a hater. And that's why I get places. Because I've never been a hater, bro. It seems like everything that I dwell my foot into, what Sanchez taught me is about all of, because everybody should be able to learn from everybody. Sanchez taught me about all of them Egyptian gods, which I've even told y'all numerous times, bro. I ain't never been big on Kemet. So when y'all hear me talking about building a pyramid, y'all can't even be thinking that I'm just a Kemet worshiper or trying to replicate Kemet. It's not because of that. If you don't comprehend why I want to build a pyramid, or not why I want to build a pyramid, or why I'm doing so, getting such done, you should ask why. Ask for why that's my goal. Instead of just saying, hey, you worshiping Kemet. Be right back. All right, what's pimping, man? I forgot where I was at, but yeah, man, yeah, I know, kind of at least. I might not pick up exactly where off on what I was saying, but it was important. We promote a very beef type of culture, man. Okay, it's I just really realize the difference between the support that I get from my and then niggas that say that you crying and stuff like that, bro. That's just nonsense, bro. When you doing something great, why wouldn't you want to? I already applaud myself. And you know what happens when what y'all niggas gotta say when I applaud myself? They say you either too stuck in the box, too conceited, or you just not looking into other stuff. Like I'm doing right now. Okay. you know, um, But other cultures is just not like that, man. They got more of when they say peace and much love, they really live by it. They really live by it. But us, for whatever reason, man, y'all can't, it's not the same type of energy, and everything. And it's we are the low frequency of the world, man. I mean, what is think about it. I mean, let's be real and let's examine stuff. Even a highly respected teacher has said himself, and I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm actually supporting it because it's right. It's logic based. It's something that we just don't want to say though. Isn't light supposed to be high or good? Light is supposed to be good frequency. As far and if we want to say good and bad is perspective, well let's use a reality based word then, or a better word then. Isn't light supposed to be enlightening, and isn't dark supposed to be hidden or low? Whenever you look at sound, high frequency reaches up high, right? Which is synonymous with light. Okay, low frequency slash bass is what we use in most of our music, which is low frequency. Okay, low vibration. That's fact based. Black people are a low vibration as far as how we act, man. And what's a proof of it as well is we'll judge them and say that white people is a low vibration. They the scum of the earth is what a lot of black people say. Man, ain't no human scum of the earth. We all and it's them, of course, they've thought that as well with us. I ain't letting him off the hook on that, of course. I know what my history, my folks went through. But one thing I'm not gonna sit up here and do is act like I don't really see the contradictions within that being said itself. People don't think about that. The whole fact that and just look at really examine our behavior, man. The support from white people will be completely different than a black person. I hear people saying they don't wash their ass correctly and stuff. It's some black people who don't wash their ass correctly. It's some black people who don't wash their ass at all. Okay. Hygiene is hygiene. Y'all is really, that's racist type and prejudice type of mindsets, man. I don't like hearing stuff like that on panels and stuff like that. It make me uncomfortable. And it's and probably say why it make you uncomfortable because we should be beyond that, man. I can't believe that people even say that they woke and say stuff like that. You know, we clearly can learn from each other. All right. And that's just fact based, man. I don't get why some stuff is like it is. It's just not cool though. And I did want to voice that, like I can learn from this brother. I don't see race. I don't focus on that. It's very rare that I even got to bring that up. And the reason I do bring it up is when I see injustice, unfair treatment, especially when my own people treat each other unfair. So at the end of the day, man, we'll treat each other unfair. And how do we do such? How come we'll kill each other? And I ain't just repeating nobody, but this is just a fact, man. Ain't can't nobody get around this. We'll talk so much shit about white police officers killing us, all of that stuff. But when have people ever stood up against them like they'll go ride quick on a nigga? It's some niggas following me right now or been from the other side. Niggas talk crazy as a mug, bro. Just senseless on the damn internet, but they won't say that much about a damn police officer. Scary ass niggas. But we ain't scared of ourselves. We'll harm ourselves quick. That's scum of the earth activity right there. Okay? Yeah, white people kill themselves too, but I don't see them making music about it, buddy. I don't see them making music about it. So we have to really reevaluate ourselves and how we interact with each other, bro. Some of y'all get on here just to troll other people, and everything. Just some of some of y'all just want to see the next person struggle. We want to bring struggle to each other. Some of y'all want to dislike a video just because y'all dislike a person, but y'all won't focus on the facts. And I don't give a flip about no likes. That's why I cut them off. That's why I turned them off because I don't care about them. Yeah, I complained about them when I had them showing because I was expecting y'all to, when I'm showing y'all something that's new, profound, I put work into, I would only expect y'all to hit the like button. I shouldn't have to ask that. It's common dang on sense. I shouldn't have to ask or remind nobody. Because you know what? If y'all uploaded a video, y'all probably gonna like y'all own video. You know to like a video if you get in real good comment. If you like, I mean, real content from it, you know to. So I said, okay, y'all want to play like that? I'll cut the lights off and leave y'all in the wonders. Since y'all think y'all got some control with that. Because what y'all ain't gonna do, if especially with the dislike thing, if y'all want to hit dislikes and thinking that's going to deter people from my video, okay? What y'all ain't gonna do, and the reason why I did that as well is because it forces y'all to have to comment. It forces you to have to comment what the hell your problem is. Cause see, that's what y'all ain't ready for, and y'all can't do. You can't comment what it is that you dislike the video for, which I told y'all to do numerous times. Comment what your debate is, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. So I mean, we have to really look at ourselves and reevaluate how we interact with each other. Um, I love this video that this man made. Let me make for sure that I hit the like button. I haven't. And I ain't been on this in a minute. I ain't been on it actually since he had notified me of it, and I didn't really finish it like that. I got to, as you saw, 20202. So I didn't finish it. But I'm gonna I made sure I hit like on any button that I finish. I mean any video that I finish. Okay. Of course, some of y'all wouldn't hit the like button as well because what? You don't like the fact that you ain't discovered, which is hating. That's all that is.
Line is called the line of the Earth.
Sorry about the twirling.
Girls, you might want to join me here and have a look at what I'm doing here. All right, so ultimately, now concentrate and imagine yourself being the teacher of this. How are you going to explain this black light? How many ways can you explain it? Well, here you have the name for it. It's dielectricity. It comes from both of these are the ether, both of them. And when these two, as Ken Wheeler said, when these two move against each other, force and motion, inertia and acceleration, the two universal co-eternal.
Now, see, that's highly important. You see what do y'all comprehend? Does the person who sent me this video, are you having an aha moment? That's what you. I'm not the one who should be saying aha because I already know everything that this man is explaining. I already know it. That's how I set all of this up like I did. I want you to think about what he's saying. Those are two what? Two yin yangs. So you see one on top and you see one on bottom. Where is the motion occurring within my work? It's occurring 0 through 9, right? All right. So you got one on top for each and every one of them. You got one on top, 0 through 9 on top, and you got 0 through 9 on the bottom. I mean, zero, yeah, on top, 0 through 9, and 0 through 9 on the bottom. That's just a fact. Okay. Everything that he's explaining is right there. Ain't no way around it. Now I find that quite amazing because, like I'm saying, the square is not. Both of them is 360 degrees. Both of them. One is based on logic and one is based on pure curvature. Okay, it's the amalgamation of both of them that creates reality.
Principles. They produce a hybrid energy, which is temporal, time space, redshift, blue shift, transverse wave, the false world of Maya. And you'll see that this is the on the South Korean flag, and they tell you clearly it has all the elements of the
I'm
earth.
sorry for this happening to be replayed too. I just don't want to mess with it because it's going to freeze up.
You see the I Ching elements, earth, fire, air, and water. It's telling you the South Korean flag. It's giving you science.
And see, likewise,
So here,
what y'all have to realize about what I'm drawing and why I'm drawing this as well. Look at this. What do you see outside of my? This is a symbol that if you look up most Grand Lodges, it is a symbol that is all throughout the background. Okay, I found this on most of the Grand Lodges. That's how they secure their windows. But it's not just the security. Look at it. What is it? It's right there. Oops, dropped my headphones. For every one of these, you end up with a line that's in the center, line that's in. Everything comes out to be 45 degrees. That's what that is right there. It's right in front of y'all face. That's why I'm drawing this. So that when they look through my book, everything that you're looking at right now is almost like an artist's photo album. That's what every one of my sketchbooks that I utilize, I try to purposely turn them into like a photo album. So every last one of them has a theme, a literal theme. And the theme of this one specifically, right here you see the Masonic Lodge right here as far as architecture. I'm showcasing my versatility skills and everything. Okay. So at the end of the day, right here, you see the 45 degrees aspect being drawn right here. I'm sorry about all of that in the background. I know it's crazy. But this right here um, is going to be the mayor of my town, actually. So it starts off right here with the Grand Lodge that's right there. Just in case for those folks, this is going to be the mayor right here. And this right here, of course, is a good brother of mine. He's actually, I ain't saying that just to say it, but he's a Knights Templar. I don't want to put his name out there like that, but he's a Knights Templar, it turns out. I'm not just going to be affiliated with Masons. I'm just not afraid of them like y'all is. Y'all is scared of them and stuff like that. You know, I ain't got time for that. I just ain't, man. Hold on. All right, my bad about that. Yeah, this right here, this he's a Knights Templar, turns out. Okay, and when you look at the Knights Templar cross, we know what that has. Of course, anything. Okay, so I'm not afraid of these guys like y'all is. Am I trying to do what I'm doing just to become one? No, I'm not. I'm showing respect, something called RESPECT at the end of the day. What is there to respect about them? These brothers know something that I'm figuring out. That's all that I can say. That's a fact, okay? I'm not doing what I'm doing just to, befriend them or nothing like that. I want them to know when I leave this earth, bro, I knew part of what I contributed to this earth. Not it's not to contribute to them, it's to contribute to humanity. But is humanity appreciating me? Is the non-Masons appreciating me? No, they're not. They're not. So I'm affiliating with who I feel would appreciate what I'm doing and what I'm standing for. I know that these what is this, what is Freemasonry stem from? Stone masonry, correct? Before there was so-called a fraternal organization, it's all based off of what stonemasons tools, architecture as well. The great architect of the universe. This right here that you looking at is literally what I'm showing y'all as if you look up ancient universe, look up, oh goodness, I'm gonna have to go to the internet because I don't like to just talk, man. I'm gonna go to the internet and show y'all because I'm not just talking. It don't matter what culture you go to, every last one of them. Okay. We're gonna start off with Indian, the Indian, ancient Indian universe. I could have said cosmology, okay, because cosmology is all synonymous. That's what it's explaining. All right. I'm specifically not looking for it, but even with that, you got the serpent, which is the nine, okay, symbolizing. But literally, when you look at their stuff, um, and that's why I'm gonna type in cosmology, because see, this is all new depictions. This is not their work from ancient times, okay. I want to see their work from it, so that's why you type in cosmology. All of this is new up here, computer generated. This is one. Look any 45 degrees type. Pretty 45 degrees if you ask me. Okay. I'm gonna type in Hindu cosmology specifically. Hindu. Goodness. Okay, it's the same thing, I guess. Of course. I'm trying to get away from these computer generated images. I'm just gonna type. Okay, I know what move. Shit, what can't run from it. Ancient cosmology. Period. All right, we're just gonna leave it at that. Goodness. See, this is where they playing games. Okay, They want to use everything besides something that's goodness. Regardless, it's the firmament above. That's what they're showing, of course. It's this firmament activity. This is and then you got certain ones, of course, that's gonna have literally what I'm talking about right here in the center. I'm tripping over how this doing this right now. It's almost like they be knowing what you're searching for. That look like the pyramid in the center right there that I'm drawing. Of course, if I pull up I ain't going to Mayan, which I could have went to just to justify what I'm, anybody knows that that's literally what I've been drawing out. Not this one, but if I type in Mayan cosmology, but it ain't the ancient one that I'm looking for. Okay, you got this one right here, which I ain't saying is ancient. What you really gonna find is what's in the stone. Okay, that's what matters. That literally looks like this. Okay, every one of them. Literally, it's just replicated. All right. But the stones, where is that symbol at as far as ancient? Here it is right here. Zoom in on that and you can see exactly what I'm drawing out. It ain't exactly it, but it's a pattern that's tessellated, a tessellation. You can see that right there in the background. The 5-step pattern. It's exactly it's basically this right here, but it's not. Somehow they artistically made that 45 degrees perfect, but the little niches itself is shaped like teeth. You see what I'm saying? So that's it right there as far as in stone. This is one of the only ancient depictions that has it in stone, which is crazy. So you got that right there, which is 45 degrees base. If you look into it and how it's separated, it's all separated just like you would separate and I ain't just saying that by the sun star. This right here, straight across 45 degrees. It's 8 spokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All of those, whenever you separate a circle into 8 congruent sections, you end up with 45 degrees. Okay. That's another depiction that shows it even clearer, emphasizing. You get this diamond shape in the center, like this 45 degrees or 90 degrees, counter space. The counter space is always going to be uh, 45 degrees when you split it in the center. Excuse me. Quite easy. Okay, we got Mayan cosmology. Not that. Not that. Nuttingeb, we already know about that. I was looking for some specific. If you look into what the mandala is, the reason why I was typing in universe is because when you look up what the definition of the mandala is, goodness, can I get an ancient one, please? I feel like this is some type of real deal setup. Knowing it ain't, but golly, man, because any other time it just I typed in troll too. Oh my gosh, bro, that's funny. Uh, that's funny. I typed in troll too, bro. I felt like I was getting trolled. I'm just being, this is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for right here. Because when you look up what this is, um, and if I type in all or click on all, golly, man, this thing tripping now. Okay, to see the definition of what the Indian ancient mandala is. Goodness, goodness. Where is the oh? Get out the fucking way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Okay. Oh, what is a mandala? Okay. All right. Cause it's the universe. I just want because some people just don't know, and if you don't show, then they question. So I mean, what is a mandala? The history, symbolism. If you ever have studied spiritual Asian art, you've okay. No, stop. Okay. You've likely encountered a mandala. A man. Okay, golly, man. Yikes. If you've ever studied spiritual Asian art, you've likely encountered a mandala. A mandala, which is a Sanskrit for circle or discoid object, is a geometric design that holds a great deal of symbolism in Hindu and Buddhist cultures. Mandalas are believed to represent different aspects of the universe and are used as instruments of meditation and symbols of prayer, most notably in China, Japan, and Tibet. They didn't even mention India, unless Tibet is another name for it. Anyway, in their most basic form, mandalas are circles contained within a square and arranged into sections that are all organized around a single central point. They're typically produced on paper or cloth, drawn on the surface with threads. So y'all know what a mandala is. I was just basically looking to show where it explains that it's the universe and everything. A mandala is a spiritual and ritual symbol in Asian cultures. It can be understood in two different ways: externally as a visual representation of the universe, or internally as a guide for several practices that take place in many Asian traditions, including meditation. In Hinduism and Buddhism, the belief is that by entering the mandala and proceeding towards its center, you are guided through the cosmic process of transforming the universe from one of suffering into one of joy and happiness. So it's dealing with the universe, which is what I was really going for as far as showing and everything. For whatever reason, it didn't bring up the correct imagery like I wanted to, but y'all can look into all of that y'all self, as far as when people tell y'all do your own research. Everything I'm saying is fact based, man. So yeah, we're gonna get back to the video so we can go ahead and finish this thing, or at least get to the point where I was at. I haven't been streaming on StreamYard, so I ain't tripping about how long the video actually takes itself, because I ain't been streaming on here anyway. I got plenty of, should have plenty of time on there.
Here is where the beginning of the uh,
And then again, I might do this in parts. I don't know. I might do this in parts and let this just be part one. And I might just come back tomorrow, and just finish it off tomorrow, probably when it's a little bit more quiet and everything, no telling. Because a lot of my, I might have said some important points in here. I might want to go back and could have pulled up as like even a diagram and everything, but I might have had, I don't know how long when I listened back or how loud the background noise really was for y'all. But hopefully it wasn't too much. But
nomenclature begins when you're going to be teaching syncretism. That you must understand that there are three. That's the Trinity. This is the Trinity: dielectricity, black light; magnetism, white light; electricity, red shift, blue shift, and that's it. This is nagual. This is tonal. Interesting. Again, tone. It's all about sound. Tonal. Tonal. Nagual Nagual, when I lived in Masunte, every day I would see out in the ocean the black rock right next to the white rock. And the people know why those stones are there because that's the southernmost point of Mexico, and they call that black Nagual and the white Tonal. That's where you get the word negate, negro, nigger, naga. What's a naga? Well, a naga is a master of the black light. He knows about this, the light of darkness. Not only does it denote that people are black of sin, but it also denotes that they have the mastery of this science, of the true science of the ether. They they tend to be less involved with this world.
I'm gonna make sure I cut this off for y'all.
The nagas. Jesus was called a naga. This is also the word for serpent. This is the serpent in the Garden of Eden. There it is. There's the serpent, the letter S. S is 19, which equals 1. This is the 1. That S in the middle there is the serpent in the Garden of Eden. And this is the flat earth as well. We have the sun and the moon. And everything works along this system. A naga is a serpent teacher. As I said, this is Quetzalcoatl, the feathered rainbow. So we're going to be learning about this. This is legends made on this. As I said, Noah, his ark, and the 7 who were on his ark. Many, I can't think right now, but many of the legends that come from this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to proceed with the sine wave. And we're going to learn we're going to learn now how to build, as a Freemason, or rather a Mason builds a house. We're going to make the foundations to build the citadel of heaven so that we can understand all things. From this citadel, you will understand astrology, electromagnetics, alchemy. All things will be in the capacitance of your consciousness to comprehend fully. And you will be freed of ignorance, and you will know and have the keys to understanding all things. Simply from what you're about to learn in a minute through the sine wave.
Now, see when the individual who refers me to focus on reality and things like that. I'm showing y'all through symbols, literally simplifying. That's what symbol is. The etymology of the word symbol and simple is very much they have roots of the same. Okay, simple sim means similar. Okay, so at the end of the day, you see these different colors that are here. The colors themselves are symbolizing. Okay, colors are pretty much symbols. They pretty much symbolize a certain type of energy. When you look at green, green is usually associated with the middle. Okay. It usually is. That's why green is the direct center of my work. Okay. So at the end of the day, hold on. So at the end of the day, every one of these colors that you see, yellow right there could be switched with white. It really could. It's symbolizing the air realm of where we're at. This is a simple diagram of, and when heat rises, correct? That's why 4 and 5, fire. Okay. And anything that rises, what I'm about to go ahead and end this thing, man, to be honest. At the end of the day, heat rises. Okay. Heat goes to the top, it rises, and water falls down. All right. Water also is, so that's what you're seeing, water down here because it seeps into the ground below. as for the below, and heat rises to the center. But I had a dream. For whatever reason, I was explaining it to somebody. I can't even remember who it was in the dream. I was just explaining it to somebody, my work on my wall. And I was telling them, we either live, it's either flat or it's a cone. Because, see, the thing is, when people are talking about the flat earth, we're talking about the water that we see up here at the top is flat. That's the main thing that people, the main argument is that the water is flat. Water always finds its level. Okay. But water sits inside of a container no matter what. Water sits inside of a container. So the real thing is, what's the shape of the container? That's the real question. What is the shape of the container? What I'm showing here is a cone. Pretty much that's what this is a delta slash a cone or pyramid. You could say that too. Because a cone and a pyramid are pretty much synonymous, but a cone really is smooth, more so to say. It's a smooth pyramid based on a circle as well. Okay. So a cone above and a cone below, reaching to a center point. When there's a center point of something, which if there's a center pole that goes through something, 9 times out of 10, we do live on some type of cone type of aspect. We're on the top of what would be the base of an inverted cone or pyramid. That's why my stuff is shaped like it is. So 4 and 5, the fire in the center at the top, that's the fire when it rises, because everything, the water, the thing is about water. We say that it seeks its own level because that's where we're living on top of. We're living on land and we look at it seek its level. But when you pour water inside of a cup, is it really seeking level or is it really seeking the center point? If you ask me, the water is seeking the center point. Like a magnet, water is consciousness, remember? Water seeks the center point, not just level. It just happens to be that as something, you know, goes down into something at a rate, or if it's contained, it's going to always, of course, make its own level because it's a build. But it's being that the water itself, the water molecules are all self-similar and mold to one another. It flattens out at any level. So, and when I say molecules, I'm talking basically water drops. And I know that it's, of course, it's smaller than that, of course, but I ain't mean to say molecules, but that's what I mean. Okay. Water drops all come together to form a line. Okay. But what I feel like the motion is going down is potentially going to a center point, like it's inside of a cup. His cup runneth over. Okay. That's a line in the Bible. So, I wanted to say that, and I don't know. I might let this go to an hour. Uh, I don't know. I might. We have 45 minutes, so I mean that's the special number 245 before.
Now, if I may have this camera, please, I'm going to show folks what we're going to get to. Girls, you might want to join me here and have a look at what I'm doing here. All right, so ultimately, this is called Astro Theme. Anyone can go to Astro Theme. Ultimately, what I've done here is I've put this at morning time in Cancun. All right, so the sun, it was a full moon. So you can see here's the sun rising in the east in the ascendant. And there's the full moon in Aquarius. And what I've done this deliberately so you can see what I'm doing, okay? This is the east. This is the morning, 6 o'clock. Let me see what time it was. 7:15. Okay, so the sun rose at 7:15 this morning. Now, and the moon descended around that time. So What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go forward 1 hour. 1 hour. And we're going to show you that if you're standing on the earth, you're standing on a line here which goes from the ascendant to the descendant. So let me just get a better astrological. Oh, okay. What did I do wrong?
It just wasn't showing the screen.
Oh, it wasn't showing the screen. Yeah. Okay, astrological chart. Let's see some images. I want to get a better image for everybody to. Can you hold that for a minute, please? I'm very sorry about this. These glasses have just got dirty. All right, here's a good one. This is a different one. Here, what you can see is what we're going to get. What we're going to draw up is this. Ultimately, we're going to come to this, the astrological chart. Okay, this is nothing but a 24-hour clock going clockwise, and it is a yearly calendar going counterclockwise. So all the signs. Aries is the first sign. Taurus is the second. They're going counterclockwise. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to make two graphs. I'm going to make the yearly calendar going counterclockwise, and all the planets inside here, they're all traveling this way along the year. They're going through the signs, but every day they are going over the flat Earth, and that's the flat Earth here. This line is called the line of the Earth, from the ascendant to the descendant. So what I'm going to show you is how this works. How you see in astrology. So there's the sun ascending. I'm going to go forward an hour and watch where the sun moves to. Okay. Why did it do that to me? I had it set up. Dang. Let's go back to Cancun. Is Anne-Marie okay?
Yeah, here.
Oh, okay. Cancun. Let's go 7:15 in the morning. All right, back to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go forward an hour. You can go up here and press 1 hour option. And I'm going to go forward. Now you watch where the sun is. So remember, you're standing on this line. It's called the line of the Earth. This, the MC, this is south. Now think about it. Why would that be south? The IC, which is opposite down here, the IC, that is north. Because when you're standing on the flat Earth, right, and you face south, you see the ecliptic. What you're seeing is this. Okay, so let's go forward an hour. I just want to hold it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oops. All right, so look where the sun has moved. It's moved 15 degrees, folks. Let's go, and it's now 8:15. Let's go forward another hour. This is what you're watching every day. This is called right ascension of meridian. So you can see that here we have a 24-hour military clock. The MC is midday. The IC opposite is midnight. The AC is 6 a.m. And the DC opposite in the west, where everything descends, that's about 6 p.m. So let's go another hour forward. It's very important that you see this happening. In the morning, we see this every day. I get up around 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun is about here. And then I come in for breakfast. The sun is around about here and it starts getting very, very hot. Let's go another hour forward. We're about, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. There you go. There's the sun very, very high now. And you see it's going in the houses. There's the 12th house, 11th house. So as it goes around 24 hours every day, right, it goes backward through the houses. We're going to see and understand how all of this works. Another hour forward. See how the sun just keeps incrementing every hour. Now we're at midday. There you go, 1 o'clock. The sun hits the MC. So this is a typical day. I'm just going to keep going forward. There's the sun every hour. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and there it is. 8:15 tonight here in Mexico. The sun will set at 8:15. So what you're seeing, right, is that circle is a 24-hour clock, but it is also a calendar of a year going in the opposite direction. So let's now explain all that. So I'll need a camera person. Thank you.
And actually, to mention, believe it or not, because guess what? This would be based off of what 18 hours, to it, around the clock when you think about it. Because I'm saying that because a clock, like he's saying, that's based off of 24, um, or at least the day at least. The 12 that we see on the clock is half of the day, right? So what we seeing right here, what I'm drawing out 9 will be half of what 18. Okay, I googled it just for the heck of it a while back, and apparently the Navy sectors of the Navy utilize an 18-hour clock. I broke down in the past and mentioned that at the end of the day, the clock that we using, if we use the 9-hour clock, it will make time pass by slower instead of faster. Sanchez just mentioned himself in one of his previous videos about time and how if you when you look up at the clock, if you look up at this, he made a phenomenal what you call that wasn't even an analogy. That's reality. Looking up at the sky. The more that you would look up at the sky, just like when you was in class and you was ready to get out of class, the more that you look up at the sky, the slower the time gonna go past is what he was talking about. But what I'm getting at is specifically with these numbers, and the more increments of hours that you have in a day, it's gonna make the day um, pass by a little faster. Because if you had 3 hours in a day, you look up at the clock. If it was just 3 hours in a day, you look up at the clock at 1 minute, it's gonna say one, and then you look up at the clock, and what would be in our time 3 hours later, it's still gonna be one. You know what I mean? If you separate the day into three sections, okay, so it would make time pass by slower, aka make it feel like life is longer. Because if time passes by slower, you're gonna feel like life is longer. By the act of them adding on, and we think about the calendars and stuff, something that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Maybe y'all might need to think about the fact of what I'm pointing out might be the real time, especially if we're talking about elongating time and making life feel longer. If you speed up the time or something, add 3 more hours to that clock, it's gonna change your mind. I mean, of course, it's just like cutting up the pie in different sections. If you cut up a pie in different sections, no matter how many times you cut up a pie, it's still gonna be a pie. Okay. You're just cutting it up into different sections. It's all dealing with perception, I know, but it's dealing with the human brain and how we perceive things, of course. So if you cut something up more times, it's gonna make it seem like it's going through just like that, super fast. Okay. It don't take that long to eat a small piece of pie if you cut up a pie into 24 pieces. But if you get and cut a pie up into four pieces only, you know it's going to take you a lot longer to eat one piece of that pie compared to one piece from a 24 piece. Okay, that's the same size. So that's a good analogy just to break down what I'm saying as far as when you cut something up more times, it's gonna make life pass by fast or perceive it at least perception. Okay.
So, what I normally do in my presentations is you can use any map. You can use the globe, Earth. You can use the azimuthal equidistant flat Earth. You can use the transverse Mercator universal projection, which is the one I use the most. So I'm going to use that one today. It's the rectangular map of the Earth. And so let's imagine that this is the Earth and it's a rectangle. Okay, so they've got Australia down here, we've got North America over here, and Africa's over here. Okay, so here's the equator, and always you'll find the Tropic of Cancer is above the equator. In fact, I think I might want to make that a bit higher. And then below is the Tropic of Capricorn. So, normally, on most maps, what they have is they denote the ecliptic by the sun starting at the equator and going up to the Tropic of Cancer and then down to the Tropic. Oops, I should have done that a little bit more over that way. Let's do it over there a bit more. So what they do is they have the sun starting here on March the 21st, goes up to the solstice, which we just had June the 21st last month. And it goes down to September 21st, the autumnal equinox, and it goes down to the 21st of December solstice, and then it goes up to back to March the 21st, and that is a year. And you'll see this in many, many ancient maps. You'll see how they do this. They show that on a transverse Mercator map, they have this projected. Always the Tropic of Cancer is here. Tropic of Capricorn is below, and the equator is always in the middle of the map. And they always show, I remember when I was a boy, I had a globe of the Earth, and it had the equator, it had the ecliptic, it had this ecliptic on it. So you'd turn it around and you'd see the sine wave.
I'm gonna be real. I've speculated myself on us living on the pyramid. Now, going off of what he's saying is making me. I'm not saying that this is what it is. I'm not saying that this is what I'm drawing out. But y'all know that I've pointed out there's no 45-degree navigation on the flat Earth map, the AE map that we use. Okay, you can't explain 45-degree navigation on a flat Earth map. Nobody's accurately done it yet. But what I'm seeing right here is how he just drew out that map and he's referencing the ancient maps. Like I said, the earth is what color? It's green. Okay. It's symbolized by green, at least, that I'm showing. This right here is literally a rectangle. Okay. And it's shaped just like that board that he's showing, which is shaped exactly like he said the Mercator is shaped just like it. This is just off the dome, just me thinking. Now, as you travel north, and we see globe models do this, curve in like that. I'm not saying it is curving, but what I am saying is that I know for a fact with this 4.5, 45 degrees, and what I'm showing with the 4 and 5 is symbolizing the North Pole in my work. So up there at the top, approximately up here, would be 4 and 5 up there. That's where the North Pole would be at on a globe. Okay. But this right here could be, I ain't saying it is, okay, but I'm saying this could be where the real map as far as our living grounds, and then think about what they say the center of the earth is. Africa, right? Right. So this would be where the Great Pyramids would be at, which is why they say it's in the center of the earth. This is geometry, okay? Earth measurement. Geometry, literally. That's what the word geo and metry comes out to be. Metry means metrics, which is measure, which is, and geo means earth. Geologist, okay? Geometry. Geo means earth, metry means measure. So earth measurements. That's literally what I'm drawing. And all of the earth measurements that they even do give you as far as a globe, guess what number it comes back to? Come back to be nine, homie. Nine. So nine is that number, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, this right here in this center, bro, this is a. I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that this is what it is, but this is quite amazing, man. Just to even think about it like that, because I told y'all I'm gonna create the map. I literally am. I'm gonna create my own map, flat Earth map, straight up, based off of my own work. How it's supposed to be utilized, that's what I got to figure out. But all I know is 100% this is the truth, and it's only a matter of time before I figure it out. It's right in front of my eyes, and I'm gonna have an aha moment one time. So it's only a matter of time, man. I'm gonna let this play, like I said, to an hour. It's at 55 minutes now, so we got 5 minutes left. And I will come back tomorrow and just do part two.
Way of going up and down, up and down. You just as you spin the globe. So now what I do though is because I'm going to make the 24-hour clock, I make that starting point over here. I start everything over here, and there's a good reason to do that. Okay, so let's start the sine wave like this now, and we're going to go that way. It doesn't matter. But what you have now is you have if this is March the 21st, the equinox, this will be June the 21st. This will be September 23rd, and here is December 21st. Okay? This is what's called, this is the equinoxes, where the sun, when it reaches the 20th of March.
Now, I took out the time to go ahead and search for what I was talking about for y'all so that y'all could see it. I'm opening it now. This thing always doing something like that. This is the map I was talking about. This right, you see that? That's literally, that'll look like if I zoom that, if I could zoom this out from the center, like it'll be perfect. It look like it'll fit perfect. So if you think about that and what I'm saying, goodness, man, like that, like I'm saying that, and Africa is right in the center, slash Egypt, I mean, bruh. I mean, Egypt to be right there in the center of the earth, like they say it is. That's the flip. Now you want to know what's crazy? This is the map that what's the name them use. FPV Angel. They use this map. Okay. Now y'all have talked about Mercator and the North Pole map, right? Think about that. Flat Earthers talk about Mercator's North Pole map. Think about it. So I mean, this right here is created by Mercator too. Mercator World Map. All you got to do is Google it. Oh man, this is something else. This is something else. Especially when I think about FPV now and work. I comprehend, but I think that because see, they ain't got the full layout that I got like right here. And that would also explain the cutoff of the land. That's the region that they cut us off right there. No North Pole up there. Everything up there, 2 and 7 on above is cut off. Just like the North Pole, bro. Antarctica as well. Which in that case, if you add it, guess what that'll make? It'll make a square. Ancient people have also said that the square is what we live on as far as the earth, but the cosmos is circular. The outer is circular. That's crazy. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about that. That's on point. That's legit.
Or the 21st of March, what happens is it's in between its in the two tropics. It's equal. It's called equinox, equal night, equal day. So these are holy days. Always been very very holy. This day in the Judaic system is called Judgment Day
You see how it's making the
because
number
this is
eight
the
too?
fall,
It's making the
the
number
autumn,
8 right there,
and the sun is falling, and it gets judged in Libra, which is this sign
which is
here.
what this is making a 8.
So, and this one here,
y'all off.
this is
Y'all
where the
don't
Christians
get it, bro.
in
This is
Aries, they have their the resurrection
Y'all
of the
probably
sun.
ain't
It's
gonna get it
called
to that boy.
the Passover or Easter, where Jesus resurrects. Well, of course, because when the sun goes through this flood of Noah, when it goes down to winter, this is all detrimental for the sun. This is not good. This is winter. You can't grow your beautiful plants. So Aries is always that moment in the year where you have your spring clean. This is spring, summer, winter. Sorry, autumn.
Like he brought up the number 7 earlier. What's 1
Golden
and 8?
Age, Silver
The
Age,
counter
Bronze
space is
Age,
7.
Iron
So
Age.
there it is.
So the mornings. Now, this what I showed you before on the astrological wheel is that this is also corresponds in the day to 6 a.m., 12 a.m., p.m., 6 p.m., and 12 a.m. So morning, afternoon, evening, night, spring, summer, autumn, winter. And the amazing thing about that astrological wheel is that it brings the 2 years together. All you have to do is remember to have the signs.
Now think about the wheel, the astrological. They separated into the wheel of life is separated into well, that's two different things. The astrological wheel, they separate that into, which is what he starts to talk about later. Like I was saying about the number 12. So I'll be back to talk about that. I know we didn't really get to go in on it at all, but he starts to talk about the number 12 shortly after this because of that astrological wheel. You can see 12 p.m. up there at the top. The funny thing about, okay, so it'll be 9 p.m. on the on this clock that I'm showing. 12 p.m. will turn into 9 p.m. Noon would be at 9. Oh shoot! Think about that. Noon and 9. The etymology. Hold on, bro. Hey man, I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, bro. I had to mute the mic, man, cause no comment. But I'm just gonna say, bro, the etymology between noon and 9. Think about that. Even night, you know. But noon specifically, noon and 9 is right there, bro. It's right there. It ain't got nothing to do with 12. Noon is 9. You ever wondered why they call it afternoon? It's probably meaning after 9 in originality. when you think about it. 12 p.m. is really supposed to be 9 because that's what it would be on my work. It would be 9. Like I said, if the clock of the day, if a day is 24 hours, which is what he's showing, which is the time that they give us, this is their time that they give us, okay? Everything else that we use as far as numbers is 0 through 9. If the time in the day is 24 hours, what's half of 24, which is 12 o'clock p.m., all right? And if I just showed y'all that the clock is 1 through 12, and I said that synonymously with my work, which is the vortex based math, uh, coinciding with Marco Rodin, 1 through 9 is just like the clock of 1 through 12. So you double 9, just like you would double 12 to get 24, you double 9, you'll get 18. So if the whole is 18 and the half is 9, that means that 9 would be noon, bro. 9 is noon. Afternoon equals after 9. Literally. Look, that shit's crazy, bro. Shit. That's crazy, bro. That is amazing. Real talk. And I said after midnight, night itself, midnight. Midnight. Bro, this is because 18, 1 and 8 is still gonna be 9. 1 plus 8 equals 9. 18 hours in a day. 1 plus 8 equals 9. This is wild. I think I just realized something. And I've been saying something about this being a clock. I mean, it's based off of the same properties. It's only, it makes sense to me. I'm just being honest. I think this right here is potentially dealing with the real aspect of time, the base of time. They changed it, of course, to 12 hours in a day, 12 hours at night. And they even told y'all that they changed it, that they, I mean, because think about it. If you change the calendrical system, which used to be, how much did they used to go by? Think about it. The ancients went by a 360-day calendar. 365 is new, bro. That's a fact. That's 100% facts. Do your research on that. Our ancient ancestors went by a 360-day calendar. So if you change the time that's within a year and add on 5 days, of course, it only makes sense that you're gonna have to change. If you change the big thing, you're gonna have to change the fractal small thing and have to make up and compensate for something, or else it's not gonna add up. So therefore, they changed the clock as well, dude. But people think 12 is the way. I ain't saying that nothing is wrong with it. Like I say, you can cut a pie up as many. It's just one way is gonna be wiser than the next. That's all. Somebody wise ain't gonna cut their pie up into a million pieces, man. That's senseless. It's just a base way to do everything, and you cut pizza up into 8 slices usually. For a modern, a regular size pizza, they cut it up into 45 equal degrees. That's a fact. 8 pieces. That's wild, bro. That's man. Afternoon equals 9. That's, I will not forget that. Now I'm on some on another level with that right there. And then if 9 is noon, half, or if you separate the day into that many sections, and 12 is the half point. Of course, 6 is the morning. 4.5, the 45 degrees right there, that'll make, dude, that'll make this the other quarter would be 4.5, which is 45 degrees, bro. 45 degrees. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna remember that. See, that's gonna be a new thing that I put out here to people is, the whole noon and 9 aspect. Because that etymology, can't nobody tell me I'm stretching. I'm literally not stretching. And I'll think of more examples, of course, but my brain kind of messed up right now, man, from certain stuff I just don't want to mention. Well, I mean, hey, y'all already know seizures and stuff, bro. Look, when I get excited, it can trigger me to either mad or super, too excited or something that can trigger a seizure potentially. In a lot of cases, when I thought of that, bro, I got very, very excited because I've been looking for that confirmation. And it be some stuff just be right in front of your face, so it just messed with my mind a little bit. I was like, dude, that's crazy. But just think about that too. 45 degrees is what? Because you separate the day into halfway would be 12. Okay, be 12 and 12, and then the other half would be 6. Okay, and like I'm saying with the 45 degrees aspect. So and with 9, okay, well, okay, I'll take that back. Actually, as far as the 4.5, I'm wrong on the 4.5 45 degrees. That's just okay because if it was 9 and the other one was 18, uh, half of that 9 would be right there, which ain't 45 degrees. But the 9 and noon is on point. Real talk. Legit. I'm amazed by that. I'm gonna let this finish because it ain't much time left as far as what
In
I'm
this
talking
direction,
this
not that direction. Number one. And to remember that everything is turning clockwise daily over the flat Earth, which is this. This is the geocentric. This is where the Earth is in astrology. That's why you'll never see you'll never see the symbol for the Earth. You'll never see that along the ecliptic. So if you come over here,
Now y'all get why that's the symbol of the earth. I brought up myself on the brother's channel that I mean you got one line that's horizontal and the vertical line of course would be the pole, the North Pole, the center split of duality, that point. So that's why that's the symbol of the earth. Is literally that's the simplicity drawing of the earth. That's like you draw a stick figure, which is a symbol of a man. That's all the stick figure is a symbol. Simplicity. Simple.
in this chart here, well, there's Pluto, there's Neptune, there's the Moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Neptune, Sun, Jupiter, North Node, Chiron, Saturn.
Four,
Where's the
five,
Earth?
four,
Where is the
three,
Earth?
two,
See, if the Earth
one.
were moving, it would be.
All right, man. We at an hour right now. It ain't the halfway mark through it, of course, because it's 2:05:02. Uh, so I mean, I'll come back tomorrow and try to catch y'all at a time where it's quieter and everything, and finish this off because he's going to go into talking about 12 and everything, man. And that's highly important. As far as the point that I was making earlier. You know, the other stuff as far as 7, man. I told y'all and I showed y'all 2 and 5 to 7. So his work, it's all contained in my work. When he talks about electromagnetism, literally electricity and magnetism, especially magnetism. I already proved y'all when he now see this guy. Guess who Ken Wheeler is? He brought up Ken Wheeler. If you listen to the names that he brought up, I think he even said his YouTube name. But I'm gonna go to him and I'm gonna type it in. Okay. Guess who Ken Wheeler is? Watch this. Watch this. Because if he said that he's right, watch this. This is the same person. Dun, 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 dun. Watch. Da, 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 da. Waiting on it. I apologize for the twirling, as always. Slow computer. Here it comes. Ken Wheeler. Dioria apophysis. Okay? Dioria apophysis. This is the same person who brought up and when I showed y'all the 45 degrees and magnetism aspect of where he showed 45 degrees is notorious. And notorious really ain't a good word to use for that. 45 degrees is extremely relevant, prevalent when it comes to magnetism. That's just a fact. And he talked and explained the earth. Okay. We talking about the earth that we live on, all right? This ain't a game, bro. It don't matter. It don't matter which way nobody try to, question something. But I just wanted to make this video to because the brother, he simply, asked me to do it. He felt like I would learn something from it. I'm gonna tell you as well, bro, because I know you're gonna listen back on it. That guy Santos Benachi, what you really should be realizing is you should be referring him to my work, brother. That's straight up. He can learn something from me as well. I just said and I showed I can learn from other people. I always have. I always have been able to. But that brother can also learn from me. You know how I can say that factually? Because ain't nobody ever did this in life. And I'm going to press it no matter what. Because I know that niggas ain't doing nothing but hating on it. That's why y'all can't debate it. Because you're the same person. I'm just showing you as well how real I am, man. Because you're the same person who was trying to debate it. Call yourself trying to, as far as when, and you only could try to do that when I was questioning about the earth being a globe, possibly using my mind. That made you feel uncomfortable enough to feel, or feel comfortable enough actually, because you was like, oh, I know this mug flat. So you want to debate then, but any other time, like I'm saying right now, homeboy, explain to me what's 45-degree navigation on a flat earth map. And explain to me why you can't debate 45 degrees. And also, I want you to as well utilize your own grid, whatever you got to do. You see this here? Utilize a grid and show me how you can do something with the number 12 and pull off the same exact math. Okay. And tie in the number 12, like, or any other number that you're talking about. Okay. Because you're the same person who said as well that a man can manipulate math and make it do whatever they want to. Part of what I want you to realize, man, is that this ain't just mathematics. It's a difference between mathematics and it's a difference between numbers. Numbers is what this is, arithmetic. Okay. Numbers is used for math. Okay. But this right here is arithmetic. All right. Like zero is ground zero, is projectile motion. If you throw something from one point and catapult something, this is literally the motion that it's going to make. There's no way around it. I showed you with projectile motion that 45 degrees is the most efficient way to do it. When something starts with projectile motion, it starts at 0 miles per hour and it ends at 99.999. Because guess what? You know why I say that? It ain't 100% because it's just going until it starts to move again. If somebody pick up the ball or whatever it is that gets catapulted, projected, once it starts its next motion, that's when it's 100% done with its full action. Till then, it's on the line, the ground line, 99.9999. All right. Like I say, bro, I'm all about the intellectual smoke, as y'all like to call it. I'm all about the intellectual smoke, man. It's all about. I really don't. That's how y'all like to call it, but I really wish, and I mentioned what I said about white people and black people for a reason, bro. We gotta watch how we really interact with each other. Black people always want to beef and have a beef culture. You ain't gonna find no white people making no music, no country music, beefing with each other, making no rock. I mean, rock music even. You ain't gonna hear them talking about each other crazy. We the ones who tear each other down, don't support each other, and then we question why we ain't getting nowhere. You know what I mean? It's white people supporting my work, bro. Them the main people supporting my work and trying to help me. Okay. Ain't nobody else trying to help me. So like I say, I'm ready for you. I'm waiting on you, man. I'm waiting on you. Till next time, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here, man, because them things make your boy tired, bro. I'm gonna let this one end here. I'll see y'all next time.